Here we go. All right, welcome to On the Rocks, episode 20. We are here. What has been going on since the last time I seen you?
Wait, episode what?
20.
Already?
Yeah. Your ass been here 21 times. He showed him one time. We filming? I was
21
like,
Savage over there.
You need some crack? I'm like, what the fuck are you all right? He over there. Really? We got that podcast. Nah, we've been rolling, man. It's going by fast, as it should, because we having a bunch of fun. Family's good. We doing great. Little man, I always start off with MJ. Damn, is there anybody else in my life but MJ? I love this little dude. He went to track practice yesterday, caught some kind of allergy reaction. His eyes were closing up by the second. So then the dad in me was like, it's time to go, abandon track practice. But the former player in me is like, dog, you can fight through this and you're going to be stronger for it, right? So they were having like some relay competitions. And I was like, what we doing here? Let's go. He went out there, man, won the first race. Then they bump you up. Like, oh, okay, you might be on the A team. Then he won that one, bump you up. You might be on the A team in the anchor. Won that one. He raced some girl that was in the older division. So y'all know before puberty, them girls be flying. They be beating them boys, right? So he beat the girl, almost failed. I was like, she would have beat you if it was one more yard. He doing one of those. But all love, man. He came home, no eyes. He can't see right now. He all right.
you don't run with your eyes anymore.
I'm about to say. I was like, if it was your leg, maybe we'd go home. But right now,
right.
You can see your ass right now still running. So it was all love.
And you're like, Michael, you better get back in front of that microphone, Michael.
Hey, that might have been my moment. That might have been my Richard Williams. I might have had my Richard Williams moment. Shout out to that movie too that got not enough love. That Richard Williams Serena movie that was sick.
That was a great movie.
That was a great movie. They ain't getting that much love. What you got there? Who's next?
Man, I'm just happy to be here. I can't believe we are on number 20 already. Shout out to all the fellas. It's been a good ride so far. And I've been here way more than 21 times. I kind of live over there, but this is about 15,000 square feet, so ain't nobody missing nobody.
Oh, you better stop. I love it.
I stopped paying rent a long time ago.
No, you ain't. We lying. No. You checking in. You checking in over here on Slauson. Hey, since you've been here so many times, you know where everything's at. Find a lotion next time. Y'all see these reptiles? Y'all see these reptiles?
Scales.
Jesus. What is wrong?
You know what? I forgot.
He forgot. I can tell. I'm like, God dang, dog.
You know, I always go to the bathroom and throw on your old lady Jergens.
The Jergens, yeah. Oh,
and I pause.
And I forgot.
Chicken wings threw him out.
Well, we're here.
So,
he was doing
excuse
push-ups
me
on
one
his knuckles
moment.
on the concrete.
Oh, you gonna do it now?
Nah, that's some senior citizen hands.
Oh, he had them Jurassic Darks. Them shits was scaly. I was like, yo, you all right?
Them chicken wings came in. They just looking them fingers.
Yeah. Oh, what we got here?
We back for another one. New York City's finest. We here.
My dog, Cincinnati Bengals in the house, representing today. Yeah, little things to it. Who we got?
UGK back in the house. Got to do my obligatory hug and Terry. That's my signature.
There you go. Every time. United Colors of Benetton in this motherfucker.
What up, Terry Jingles, filmmaker extraordinaire in the house.
There he is. Yeah. Oh, we got some new booty in the back. Look at this. Look at this. What? No. That used to be an appropriate joke. You can't say new booty no more.
New
Pause?
booty.
Damn. All right. Virgin? We got some virgins?
Maybe.
Who we got here?
Fred, handle a lot of podcast business, behind the scenes kind of stuff. Pulled up on my dog Marcellus to see what it do.
I'm not your dog, Fred.
I know, right?
Damn.
He known you longer than me.
I've been trying to get Justin out to dinner for a year and a half, but we're going to leave that alone.
I'll be pulling up.
Oh, there it is. There you go. He'll bounce that out real quick.
Fred, that Rolls Royce only navigates to certain restaurants. If it ain't Mr. Chow or No Boo.
They fire.
No boo.
They firing today.
That
I be everywhere.
It's like, fuck you, Waze.
Yeah.
We're not going there.
He ain't seen an Arby's or a Carl's Jr. What? He ain't been nowhere.
Nowhere that serves French fries.
I'm going to let y'all all get this off.
Mr. Miami.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I'm about to say. This August. Damn. He in the first quarter with it. He just hit you. And who? Oh, we got the legend himself in here.
The mayor in the building.
Hello. Hear me loud and clear with an echo. Jay West is here. You know what I'm saying? L.A., Compton. You know, I pull up on my boy Marcellus, big dog.
Man.
He in here.
Damn.
Let's talk about it.
Jay Westrada is in the building, dog. Everybody know him, right? Tell the truth, Justin.
He ain't say I was a boy either. I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
it's
man,
a lot of shade coming from this.
And we all in the same spiritual realm. It's all good.
Got you.
You that dude that be Brian, like, hey, when the girl go hug everybody, be like,
But what about me?
where my hug? I hate that. And she be
Wes
like,
ain't got no
You like
love.
Brian
your ass
Jones? You
too.
like Brian
Got
Windhorst
no
over there.
love.
hey, we got to give a shout out to Mezzy Wings in the building.
Wings.
Y'all gonna
Wings.
see us over here. We're gonna be respectful and not chomp while we talk,
one
but
and
we
only.
gonna be eating because boy,
The one and only.
they are
Fires.
sick with it. We had lemon
The
pepper,
one, not the two.
Onion rings.
onion rings. The onion rings had that special sauce. He said Southwest sauce.
Southwest sauce.
Yeah,
sauce
Justin
was-
and
that
Aaron
sauce
came
was
through.
hitting.
What was that sauce? What would we say? It was a mix of ketchup and
I thought it
ranch?
was ketchup and ranch. He told me that it wasn't.
He said, hell no.
but
secret.
it was good though.
He said it's proprietary, right? Special sauce is smoky. All right, let's get into this, man. Speaking of some sauce, woo! I ain't seen a crash out like this in a minute. I don't know what the funk is going on. I will say this, and I'm where's my back that I should pat? What side? I predicted this years ago. I said it's going to be a clash between the athlete and the journalist, sports media, because you talk to the real homies on the court or on the field, and they're like, man, I don't like so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, but then they got to do their public presentation. Then you talking, you working with these cats that cover it, and they're like, I don't like him, I don't like him. I'm like, one day, war won't be avoided. It's just now being postponed. Well, it's here right now because Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James are going in right now. So I got to get y'all thoughts after we start with this quote right here that says, I can't believe this came out somebody's mouth. Stephen A. Smith said, if that man would have put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. Okay. Now, we all know the backstory, so we ain't going to bore everybody with that. But when y'all heard that, Just Blaze, where'd you go? Be real with this. I know that's New York City, but you're going to have to be real.
Andy from Queens.
Okay.
I knew it. Come on, Steven. But I'm gonna throw him some bail first because they played the game, the clickbait. They cut half of what he said.
True.
He did say that LeBron would destroy him pretty much if he did that. But his point was if
Use
he had
his
put
exact words. Come on.
What was his exact
don't matter.
words, you know?
You would kick my ass?
He did say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He did say that. So that's why when he said like, I would swing on him, I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, as a man, I expect you to say that.
Supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to say that.
But
So I
were
didn't
you
put
going to do that? So why say
No,
it
I don't
if you
believe he
weren't
was going to do
To
it.
assume that, you ain't got to say it. We already know you would protect yourself, so why are you even saying that?
But we don't know if you would.
I don't know. If LeBron walked up to you and just be like, hey, bro, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Everybody don't protect themselves.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I ain't got to swing back because you just touched me.
Well, no,
How'd
but
you touch me?
Yeah, but if you swing on me, I got to swing back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
That's the mindset.
Yeah,
I'm just saying everybody don't actually think like that.
Fold. Sometimes you get swung on and you walk away. Some people fold. It's all cap to me.
That pressure.
So it's all cap.
All cap. Cappuccino.
So why would it be cap? Like, no one provoked Stephen A. to go to that route. Like, matter of fact, no one anticipated that was going to be the conversation. But then you take it there. And you take it there, for me, it's the bruised ego. It's the difference in ego of an athlete and a journalist. Since I've been on both sides, I always tell my journalist friends, y'all not built the same. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care how big you are. Somebody appointed you to your position. Someone gave you that check based on what them liking you doing and what the ratings are. Football, basketball, none of that. Put another man in front of me, watch me whoop his ass, and you're going to pay me to do it again. That's a whole different ego from when you're in the 8th grade, 12th grade, getting recruited. Nobody had to walk around campus saying, hey, I am LeBron James. What? We know who you are. Don't say nothing. Now, when you me or you're Stephen A. Smith and you're in the media, you got to start introducing yourself to people, right? And I was that hybrid. So I saw the ego clash, and I was like, nobody in journalism going to win against an athlete when the athlete finally says, let me take off these gloves and start throwing some punches. What'd you see, Jay West, from this whole exchange?
I see a lot of cap as well. I mean, first of all, when you say you're going to swing on somebody, that's not that you don't get no credit. You don't get no street credit. I seen Stephen A. walk in Staples Center like the badass Ben Stiller walk.
Like the Don. He was the Don.
He come in crypto. My bad, crypto arena. Shout out to the Crips. But yeah,
and pointed. Don't catch me in no Rico.
That was it.
Rico me.
You trying to indict my boy right here.
I ain't gonna do it like Big U.
I did one interview with Big U. That's it, y'all. Let me stop. Y'all better stop.
Know what's going on in this
And we'll see you for
podcast, man.
episode
But
21.
he literally
Notice the
walking
color
from
choice.
Entrance to his seat, walking like this. I'm like, man, this hardcore. I mean, it's worse. He going now worse than Drake. Like, it's really that you want to be seen as this tough guy, but you don't got to do that. The reason why you got people like Kobe Bryant cussing him out when he say something, Kevin Durant mom that he had to apologize to, Kyrie Irving daddy that he had to get into it with, all these different players. They respect what you say. You great at what you do. It's nothing against him, but when you step outside of criticizing the game and it gets more personal, he has that assertiveness in his speech. Yeah. It's that tone. But it can come off as hostile to a lot of players. So, okay, yeah, we want to see that hostile in person. And he invited LeBron to that conversation because he said, if anybody got a problem with me, I'm at every game. Yeah. I'm at Staples Center. I'm in New York at Madison Square. I'm at courtside, so approach me. So he's inviting this attention. So to criticize players for approaching them and to say you're going to swing on somebody, like if you're going to say you're going to fire on them, you know what I'm saying? Because you can swing and miss. You don't get no credit for that. You know,
he killed it.
If you say, my bad, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So that's my take on it.
I was going to say, the moment somebody says, I would have did this, you wasn't going to do it.
No.
Because if you would have did it.
You weren't. We know. Yeah. Because look, this is what I give you one of those like geometry equations, right? Okay, so I would have swung on him if he would have swung on me. Okay, let's give it a numerator. He walked up to you, cursed you out. You didn't say nothing. You know what? In the geometry equation, if it's symmetrical, you was going to swing if he swung. How come when he cursed your ass out and said something, you didn't say nothing? Mm-hmm. You didn't swing him. Because that shows me you ain't about that life. Nope. But the problem is, fame is a hell of a drug. We've all had our taste, and when you get a taste of it, you want more of it, and some people want to OD on it. Yep. Right now, I think that Stephen A. is like just drunk off his own power because there's this star power that you all see from him. He wants to be bigger than the athlete. He want to be bigger than LeBron. Yeah. He want to be so big that he said, literally, when you're done playing, LeBron, I ain't going to speak about you. Mm-hmm. How in the hell you ain't going to speak about the second best player ever, if not the GOAT in basketball? So to me, it's like really selfish of Stephen A. to steal the spotlight from LeBron, because the reason we all know Stephen A. is because of his coverage of athletes, not because he was actually that athlete.
And Stephen A. is probably the most insecure journalist on the air. He's always talking about.
I didn't say that, but that's tough.
I can say that.
I can think of some names.
I'm about to say there's some names, but they're lesser. No. You know, their insecurity got in the way of them growing. Like his is just, he's the most notable that you can see his insecurities come off. His crash out on First Take today was pretty epic. He's gone. We lost him for a second.
I mean, this is a man who is addressing men, because men watch sports shows, right? Yeah. Right? Always talking about how good he looks and how he's the best looking dude around. First of all, you're wearing suits like Max wore.
Steve Harvey
stole that. He stole the Tom
Harvey.
He stole the Tom. No, those are Tom Fords.
No, those Tom Fords. Max hit
suits.
the whole industry.
But they look like Steve Harvey's.
But they don't look right on him. They look right on Max. That's right.
All right, y'all stay focused, please. Y'all like this. What I'm not gonna do is what Stephen A. does, which is, LeBron, you got a problem with me criticizing you as a father and then turn it into a Jordan GOAT debate, which is like, this is how we all do that. This is how we all got confused. Like, we start going down lanes that ain't even appropriate. We ain't talking about that. We talking about dog. This man told you, stop criticizing me as a father and then trying to trampoline that to get on my son. That's it. Yeah. And you had your moment to confront me. You had your moment to respond to my confrontation. And now, if he's still, like he said, you still on that Taylor Swift on the press tour? Right. Like, come on now.
And LeBron's 6'9", 250, 260.
Ain't his fault.
So I'm saying if LeBron did put hands on him, he ain't putting hands back on LeBron.
Not hands that's going to be felt.
Yeah, not hands back on anybody. He's not putting hands back on anybody.
Anybody could get it.
Put him on his forehead. Did you see that sparring video? Did you see that sparring video of LeBron? He's not putting hands on anybody.
I think it's deeper than rap. I think there's something deeper that we're not seeing between those two. For
sure it is.
And what it is like Stephen A., he's at the top of his profession. He got the $100 million contract, and what's happening is he still can't sit at the cool kid's lunch table.
Yes.
And the cool kid is LeBron, and he ain't talking to him, and he ain't fooling with him. Yes. And so now what's happening is that now that Stephen A. has his clout, he's like, you know what? I ain't like you anyway. You know what I mean? And he's trying to tear him down. Now that he thinks he has the same kind of clout, but it's backfiring because we are seeing insecurities. We're seeing the
Who said this is like the Drake battle going worse? You said that. When you first said it, I was like, nah, this ain't that bad. You know what? But it has the same core principles. So Drake got so big, and he was so big for so long, got all the money, all the numbers, that he thought it bought all the cool, bought the street cred, bought everything. While Kendrick was just sitting there like, nah, that ain't it, bro. Like, you can cover it up well, and you've done the best job ever as an artist, but you still ain't it. Now, let me show you what it is.
Let me clarify that. And I mean when I said he's looking like Drake, because Drake is at the Toronto game against Sacramento, mad dogging DeMar DeRozan, whispering under his breath like fucking pussy after they beat him. So when you see that, you're doing things outside of yourself. Be the rapper. Be the ladies' man. So when I see Stephen A, like, he's shaking like a poodle with his. Did you see his left hand when LeBron was talking to him? He's shaking like a shaved poodle on the sideline. So you trying to convince the world that you would have swung on him if he would have touched you? Come on, bro.
Yeah,
so he thought about that on the car ride home.
He gonna cry on the way home. So let me finish that. So to that Drake point. Drake was like, I'm trying to be cooler than I am because I grew up the actor, probably homeschooled, and probably didn't really get around all the real cool kids. So now I'm the coolest because you got to follow me because I'm paying everybody to say yes. All right? So then you see LeBron looking at Stephen A like, all right, you the top dog in your industry. Congratulations. Do what you do. And then you walk in like you balling. Like, the athlete walk is the best walk. Like, that's, I mean, all of these industries are amazing. I'm not saying you get the most money. I'm not saying you get all the love. I'm just saying everybody wants to say, all right, put it down, grab the ball. Who better, me or you? It ain't about out-rapping you no matter what you're doing. Ain't about nothing else, out-journalism you. It's about who's the cooler kid. And LeBron sat there, is like, this dude gonna really act like he me. He gonna step on my toes in my game, in my arena. And that's the first time in 22 years LeBron had to check somebody.
To be fair, I think they both playing like mental gymnastics here, and they both being a little shady because Stephen A is talking about he trying to finesse it into the GOAT debate. Like, oh, you don't like me because I don't think you the GOAT. That ain't the case. Like, it's way deeper than that. But on the flip side of that, LeBron is playing both sides of the fence because one minute he's making it seem like, oh, I just don't like what he said about me as a father. But, and then, yesterday on McAfee, he was like, you know, I've been here 20 years. I don't have a problem with you critiquing the game and the players and this and that. But when he walked up to Stephen A from what he said, he's like, keep my son's name out your mouth.
Right.
He didn't say, don't talk about me as a father. He said, don't talk about my son. So if your issue is with Stephen A talking about your son, then you can't then say right after, hey, I don't have a problem if you talking about the game. Because Stephen A's comments was about Bronny's game. It wasn't about Bronny as a person.
Listen.
Now, his comments about LeBron, when he did that as a father, was out of line.
But that's when it all started.
But I'm saying LeBron is saying something opposite, though.
No, but you got to remember the beats of it. So remember, what was Kendrick's song with Future? What's that? Like that. Yeah. This, like, they've been shooting at each other for a while.
For years.
But Like That made Drake say, oh, okay, you like that. All right. So their Like That moment in this little battle was when he said, as a father. Where's the camera? As a father. So look, dog, no matter what I say to you, look, I'm talking about, I ain't gonna say your daughter's name, but your little mama, right? So I'm talking about little mama, right? She shouldn't be at the school. She ain't smart enough. She dumb as fuck. Man, why your daughter at the school? Dumbass. See, look how you feel right there. See how you acting? You're already feeling the way, but that's all right. I'm just talking about the school, right? So that's okay. But then I say, look, dog, as a father, why would you enroll her in that? Now, see, you like, hey, bro, it's okay if you don't think her test scores add up. Because that's a number. But as a father, I didn't do right by putting her in a position to fail or succeed. And that's where LeBron said, hey, bro, you doing too much. I like your point of this is like deep. They're both playing both ways. But Stephen A is so, shut it, you said it first. Stephen A is so loyal to the Michael Jordan text messages he's getting. So thankful he's getting them. Yes.
And he can't get one from LeBron because he ain't got his number.
MJ last week.
Dog, I'm going to leave it like this. That he's so thankful that Jordan's his buddy, homie, friend, whatever, that he literally will pick the second best player we've ever seen and only want to focus on his issues, his weaknesses, like Skip Bayless made a whole career of. That's like, dog, if that ain't the answer, what is?
But that's on trend because he's a company man by default, right? So Stephen A is always.
Ain't we all? No.
Right?
No. If you work for a company? No, I'm going to stop. If we work for a company or company man, you mean like what? Break it down.
Do anything for
like
the company.
he's loyal guy, right?
Yeah.
Whoever he's with, he's riding with all day. So I can see him, especially someone like Michael Jordan, who he probably grew up and idolized and stuff like that, or he's riding for him all day, and God knows what MJ's probably telling him to, probably goosing him up, making him feel a little certain way.
The thing about the Jordan debate and LeBron. Anthony Davis was LeBron's teammate. He said in his very own locker room that Jordan's the best. So it's not, LeBron doesn't have a problem with people saying Jordan's the best. Well, it's like 80% of America.
Yeah.
Saying, or the whole world is saying Jordan is the best. So it's not really that. And I think that's where Stephen A is keep going back to Justin's point.
Low hanging fruit.
It's like, it's not that. It's when after that Philly game, he said, LeBron, why are you doing this to Bronny? It's like, why are you doing this to Bronny? And it's kind of, as a father, stop doing it. And it's LeBron's not the coach. I mean, he may be, but you know what I'm saying? It's JJ Redick. I mean, we all know the others, but you don't got to go out here and speak on your platform. LeBron, stop doing it. Stop it. So I think that's where it was like the that record, and that was what's triggered it, as Marcellus said.
Yeah, and look, I will be triggered. And I am very difficult to trigger. Like, it takes a lot. You could talk about my wife, my family, my mama. People come up to me all the time bagging on my mama like she dead, and they keep bagging. I was like, oh, she dead. You ain't kill her, so why am I mad at you? Like, I don't displace my aggression. I know what my real problems are, right? And I'm gonna attack my real problem. And I don't have a problem even when I played and when I heard criticism. I heard the praise. I heard the criticism. I'm like, dog, duh. This is one thing about an athlete. We know no matter what venue you walk in, there's going to be people that are going to cheer you, and there's going to be people that boo you. Because when you're 8 years old, you got cheered. And then when you were 9 and fumbled that ball in the championship, you got booed. And people looked at you different. They didn't buy you chili cheese Fritos. Then you 12, and then people looking at you weird because your knees hurt. And then at 14, when you get your growth spurt, they all want you again. So you go through all of that, and then you make it to the league, and do you think I think that everybody going to love me? Jordan got, people forget because I'm old enough to know, Jordan first 7 years, shit. They were talking about Ron Harper almost as much. They was on Ron Harper like, till them knees went, they were like, Ron Harper got you, Jordan. What you talking about? They were like the same dude. So I'm like, I'm not the one to hear the reason you think LeBron is mad at you is because he thinks you want Jordan over him as the GOAT. That's the weakest reason to use to be on your mattress.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying out the gate. I just think he knows that he's here for the ratings. That's really what it's all about. Stephen A cares about his ratings, and he gonna say anything to just try to justify why this is happening instead of just being like, I need the ratings. Ain't nothing else to talk about.
You know why else it's a trigger? Because less than 2 years ago, we didn't even know if Bronny was going to make it out of that situation alive. With the cardiac arrest, what happened at USC. So I think it's a lot. He's he's not the player that's going to talk after he do something. You know what I mean? He's not the person that's real arrogant. He's a good kid.
When I'm
about to say, hey, your necklace fake, though.
He'll pop his stuff in here and there, but
as he should.
But when he's on the court, he's playing, especially now. So now is really looking bad because Bronny is balling. And Stephen A is really looking bad because it's kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe I was wrong. He said that out of his own mouth. So now it's really looking bad because now it's like the person you was criticizing, you can't really go there no more because now maybe LeBron was right the whole time.
You know what's crazy? Because as Stephen A is ramping up for this political run, and respectfully, he got a shot for real. I'm just going to put that out there right now. So look, he got a real shot. But I know some of the things he's doing also behind the scenes. We're talking through some opportunities in connection, and I've seen it. So I'm like, Stephen A really got something going on. But the thing that I noticed that you just brought up, and I ain't even put it together, Stephen A. Smith not admitting the real reason he mad at LeBron is just because simply I just like Jordan, and Jordan texts me back. So it's like I can stay there. And this whole GOAT, he going to play it off like it's about the GOAT for LeBron. You remember when him and Max got into it? And he used to act like it was everything else except what was the one reason where everybody was like, nah, we think it's because T.O. said that Max was blacker than you.
Right.
And then he went on a world tour. Remember all them podcasts he did? Joe Budden and all them dancing around. All that dog. When you ever gonna dress it had to get to you because shit flipped 180 quick.
Immediately.
Right?
He never recovered after that.
And you won't recover until you address the illness, not the symptoms. So that's the one thing about people when we're not stupid, dog. The wisdom of the crowd is massive. People, there's millions and millions of people following him, dissecting every word. Raise your hand. I know. I'm listening to these words. And I'm like, yeah, that's cute. It's like when your kids come up to you and lie. You just be like, dog, okay. When you gonna tell me the part that I need to know? Like everything else you said was cute and it sounded great in your head in the bathroom. But right now, laying over my fucking lap in this bedroom, before this thing come down on you, this thunder rains, I just need to know what was the real reason. And I haven't even spanked my kids yet, but I'm anticipating what they gonna get is what I got. You know what I mean?
Probably the softer version.
You gonna give them a 3-finger spanking?
Man, I'm gonna flick they pinky or something. I ain't spanking my kids. They could be bad. Fuck it. them shit still got me traumatic stressed. And the point is,
I remember mine.
Dog, Stephen A is doing the same dance again. He won't address the dog. You really put LeBron on the side like this. And now today he said, look, LeBron doesn't like me and I don't like him. What did grandma say to us growing up? Never let them steal your joy. Yep. Because once I start watching TV, I don't care if Stephen A likes LeBron or not. But once I start watching it, I'm like, not only do you not like him, but now you trying to get him. Now you on the hate. Now you on the BS. Yeah. That's when I right now I watch it on mute. That's when I turn the TV off. Because I'm like, dog, now you just trying to make me not think this dude is who he is, which is the second best player ever. Think how many guys under LeBron that got good images, great reputations, that Stephen A and all them always talk nice about. Think about that. Ain't that funked up? What you think about it, Terry?
I'm just tired of it's just like a big old WWE thing, and I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything else to like bring to it. Like it's a clash of the egos, and Stephen A, he's on the bottom of the pile right now. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not tired of it. I won't lie to y'all. Like, entertainment. Y'all about to say shit. It beats 2 weeks ago when I was like, what the fuck is going on? Nothing? Like, football over, basketball, nobody cares. Until, like,
in the last episode, what we talked about, the reason why the ratings in the NBA falling down, there's no real rivalries no more. They're not really battling. You see what's going on now. We sitting here talking about this because it look real.
Yeah.
And I think what Stephen A did was real, like, elementary school, because all these years you ain't never said you ain't like LeBron.
Yep.
Like, you was always talking about how you speak so highly of him and this and that. But now because he is saying he don't like you, I don't like you either.
I don't like you either.
Come on, dog.
Yeah, I don't like you either. I never talked about your son. I was talking about you. But now, since you want to talk about me, I don't like you.
Did you see what he did earlier, a little while ago, when he was like,
tell me.
I never brought up how you wasn't at Kobe's funeral.
Yeah, I saw that.
I never brought up how you wasn't at D. Wade's Hall of Fame speech. I never brought these things up as you're bringing them up. Right. Yeah, like, I never brought this stuff
he's up. Violating his own code.
Right. Now you're getting real personal.
That's what happens when you're insecure and you got a fragile ego. That's, like, look, and I say this to their face. I say this nicely. I say this off air, on air. Dog, it's okay. I know who's who. Like, you are never gonna be LeBron James. I don't give a fuck what you think of Jordan. You ain't gonna never push him down to the point where people ain't gonna always clamor to that guy. What you need to do is respect that you got a huge platform, a big name, and people clamor to you. Yeah. But once you get into that peekaboo, like when you run a track and you got lane 1, you looking at lane 2, you ain't running your race no more. He in LeBron's lane trying to run LeBron's race. LeBron will always beat you, Stephen A. Just like Stephen A in sports media will beat me. Dog, it's okay. That's what athletes can do. Yeah. Like, we be like, yo, Peyton Manning got me. I don't know about him. Now, don't make it close, because then we're going to have an argument. But Stephen A. and LeBron ain't close. I don't know why he keep trying to bark up that tree. That tree will fall on you.
Yeah, that's a no-win for Stephen A. in the long term. No question.
Well, is it a no-win? We don't know Stephen A.'s contractual obligations, what he has to check off. This could be the reason why he's doing all this. If you think of it as an athlete, maybe this is how he pads his stats, whatever the stats are for being an announcer. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to retire after this contract's over. He may be looking for that next contract. He's going big. He's trying to go big with this. Right?
Home run
He got to
swings.
take risks. He's got to take some
Home
risk, and
run
this is what
swings.
it is.
Yeah, but if you risk big, you can lose big.
But he's got to do something different.
So,
He's doing something different. He just got that big contract. Maybe that pressure's
The
getting to him.
politics, like, look, a fallback is like, interesting. Like, you swing different because you want it to land different. Like, he's thinking maybe Stephen A. is like, look, I done did enough LeBron, GOAT debate, Jordan coverage. I could cover every game. What if I took the biggest star and didn't beat him, but just took him in the ring? Kind of like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like Mike Tyson. Like, and you may win, but the chances are you won't if it's for real. But the point is, I was in there with him. That does amplify Stephen A.
I don't know. In the court of public opinion, I'm not sure.
Look how much we're talking
So look
about
at this.
Yeah, but look at
But the algorithm is still pumping, so.
Oh, it's pumping.
I
It's
mean,
working
the
for
network,
everybody.
It's all entertainment. They're winning. Where Stephen A. is losing. Did you see today where he said, LeBron posted on his Instagram a video of me punching, and it's embarrassing to me. I had 2 torn rotator cuffs. He said I was swinging with 2 torn rotator cuffs. So what does that tell me, Marcellus? Your insecurity of being
Insecure.
tough.
Yes.
Because why would you feel the need to let the public know
Yeah.
you had 2 torn rotator cuffs to make up for your embarrassed video
shouldn't even
that
have
you
responded.
posted yourself on your platform?
You
Come
posted.
on.
He posted it thinking he was fresh. Oops.
You real embarrassing back then.
I never understand why celebrities post those boxing videos.
Yeah,
of
Meek
themselves.
Mill did it too. He was looking weak.
Oh, Mick Mill's
Oh my
looking
God.
crazy.
Dog.
the first person I thought about when I saw that.
Never.
Swinging them feather dusters.
You ain't gonna never. Hey,
You ain't doing nothing.
You ain't
nobody
gonna
with them things.
People don't understand. All right, there's 2 lanes right now. I'm gonna go down, and I love your point, Eugene. One, if Stephen A. don't sit his $5 ass down before I make some change, this is what an athlete is thinking. Sit your ass down, dog. You are doing something athletic. Are you shitting me? So we want to break down what athletes really see. Now, we're all athletes, different levels. Let's break it down. When you get to the park and rec, it's everybody. Mama just bringing their kid to get them have a babysitter. Some of these kids got 2 left ankles, right? We know they ain't ready, but some of these kids are ready. Then you go to like high school level and the AAU, you're like, yo, these kids are really ready. Then you go to college. Think about how many ballers we know that tapped out in high school or college. Dog, I can name them. That was insane. And I was like, he ain't even go pro. So then the ones that went pro, we talking about, they looking like, dog, don't mess with me. This is some old Jedi mind trick shit I could do on you, right? I could literally go Neo in the Matrix in athletics on you. Then it's motherfuckers who's in the conversation the best ever, let alone a GOAT. And then you're going to put out videos that's going to...
Why you wanna?
The uppercut on Mike Tyson.
Hey, Marcellus, is this rotator cuffs? Is this rotator cuffs?
You remember the RoboCop? Like,
What's that, Mike
remember that
Tyson
Penn
punch
State?
out, uppercut?
Yeah, body blow. Dog, I was like, there's nowhere you've ever been in this world where that was impressive to anybody who's ever been impressed. Like, that's the problem, right? Okay. I just want
to say this real quick because I do think it's a contract thing, but not for the reason you said. I think it becomes a contract topic because of the money. Because it's just like, just because you're the man where you're from don't mean you're the man. And I think where Stephen A. is at, he's ESPN, he's the top dog, everybody's answers to him, he calls the shots. But LeBron is the man. So it's a difference. So now it's somebody who's testing you, and for everybody who's looking at you as the man, now you don't look like the man so much.
Hey,
so I
to
think,
that point,
I think that plays into it too.
And just that's what I'm saying. It's a big risk because he found the axe that can chop his tree down.
But would you say he's punching up?
No, yeah.
You do gotta punch up. Who?
I
You gotta
disagree
punch
with
up.
you guys. You guys are. I disagree with you guys because you're forgetting. This wasn't for Stephen A. Smith. Him going at LeBron LeBron's like, you're not going to beat me at all. So I won't punch down on you. I'll let you punch yourself out. And this is how I'm going to let you do it. You know you got somebody that works at ESPN, but he doesn't work for ESPN. His name is Pat McAfee. Oh, yeah. So what I'm going to do is now go on his show, give him that bump, give him that, because I know y'all in this tug of war. Because their history goes back to when Pat McAfee was like, yo, my NBA coverage sucks because, hey, ESPN won't give me all my people. I don't know. Maybe it's, he didn't say Stephen A. Smith, but he let the world say, maybe Stephen A. Smith over there blocking it. This was months ago. And then now, LeBron and Rich Paul, who I just saw at the Clipper game a couple of days ago, shout out to him for showing MJ love.
Watch that name you just dropped it again.
I dropped it again. Rich Paul? Or Clippers? Rich Paul? Oh, Rich Paul.
Ain't no clout with Clippers. Go ahead.
No jury.
So they calculated, right? So he's like, I can't punch down on this dude. But what I can do is let him punch himself out trying to get me and take one on the chin from Pat McAfee. So then McAfee, I want us to talk about the flex of one. McAfee accepted it like everybody would have, but he accepted it probably with a little, I had bad NBA coverage before, no longer. And how that,
into it too.
Everybody would. How that would settle with Stephen A. Smith and some of his response being fueled by it was on McAfee.
Yeah, but see, this is what exactly what I mean by this. You keep chopping that tree, little chops, death by 1,000 cuts. There's not going to be one fell swoop to get Stephen A. Smith off the higher throne, right? But people
who's the tree? Is it LeBron or Stephen A?
Stephen A.
Stephen A's the tree?
Yeah.
No.
In this, yes.
Right,
and let me at ESPN.
Oh, okay.
So people gravitate towards guys gravitate to other guys who they want to have a beer with. Right, that's how most people vote for president, for other politicians.
Oh shit, I'm about to win.
That's
Then. If you all you need is a drink, let's go.
Right, I mean, oh boy. So as people who other people look up to and respect start chopping on you, then the public at large is going to start chopping, and they're going to see it differently. And that's what's and I've seen this with other sports people.
You gotta give me names and numbers, Coach.
There was a guy who used to get in arguments with the original dude who used to do the draft stuff, John Clayton.
Oh, John Clayton. Oh,
Clayton.
Damn, yeah, respect.
Remember Clayton?
Yeah.
And there was a guy, Salisbury, I think it was.
Oh yeah, Sean Salisbury.
And he used to just start riding on Clayton because he had started right. I'm catching him. I'll throw it back. You're right.
Murder was the case he got.
But you can start seeing egos start getting too high. And once egos start getting too high, the public starts turning you off.
Yeah.
And next thing, Salisbury was off the air.
For other issues too, but
that's
real.
But he started chopping on Clayton. People love Clayton.
Yeah, they did.
And then he was gone.
It's a way to play that because that's literally how Skip and Stephen A. kind of built themselves. And that's literally how Mel Kiper and Sean, God, he gonna kill me now. There's another Mel Kiper out there that does the analyst work as well, and they built their Todd McShay. Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they built themselves the same way.
And Todd McShay became mad Todd McShay.
Yeah.
And then he got let go.
Yeah. So
he became mad guy. Once you become mad guy, your days in sports reporting is over.
So you're saying, I thought in this conversation, LeBron's the tree.
No.
And be careful trying to chop him down because he'll fall on you.
LeBron is a
He ain't
star.
even in there. He the forest.
He's the sun.
Right.
Stephen A. is a
So give me the Pat McAfee level because I love what you said right there. I shouldn't have jumped you. Give me the Pat McAfee petty level. There's something in there that's petty from LeBron, and there's something that Pat McAfee said, I'll hold that petty for you even though I ain't make this petty. What is that about? Because they work at the same network, which is loose. You know what I mean? Like, you could be in the house with somebody and I know, you know.
He pulled a Goldie on him. He was like, your chick chose me.
Yeah.
Does that have any effect to why Stephen A. is responding kind of out of character? Do you think that has any
he was out of character before that. So I don't think that plays into it, but I do think that him going on McAfee was definitely a power play for both of them. It didn't benefit LeBron, but it's kind of LeBron sunning Stephen A. But then now it raises McAfee up even more because we already know there was a little tension, whether it's friendly competition or it's real tension. But
Stephen A. kept saying on air, I wanted to be the highest paid, etc.
Right.
And then,
but he was saying that because McAfee came in there
and got that
and took all the coins.
Yeah,
and they cleared a bunch of people out.
Yeah.
Just to bring McAfee in.
Yeah.
So, and then he didn't have to answer to the same people Stephen A. had to answer to.
And you remember those little riffs, the little times of like, oh, on another show they can say this and get away with that. And a lot of times he would use Ryan Clark and others to kind of get the message out like, yo, on McAfee show they cursing, they saying this, they doing this. And then over here we got to be a little different. And I wonder if that's racial. You remember those whole little racial negotiations they were having? So there's something there where not only LeBron, Rich Paul, McAfee doing this, but there's also Stephen A's response to this. It can't be just you, LeBron. I got to put a little extra on it because I got to let this guy know I'm the king because I just got my new deal that's bigger than your deal.
But we talk about it almost not every episode, but often. There's only two things men usually fight about. It's money and women. Women is not in play in here.
How much?
So we already know this is a money thing. Yeah. As you said, Stephen A. wanted to be the top guy, or he felt he was the top guy there, but the money wasn't showing it. Yeah. And then McAfee came in, and the money showed it, and he didn't have to answer to the people that Stephen A. has to answer to. So automatically, he has the upper hand, and everybody, in the comments and the social media, everybody was already talking about it. So I feel like he started acting out and doing things to kind of make himself feel like the man, which is why he started his own platform, because he was following what McAfee did. Yeah. So it was always all about the money. Yeah. And then now LeBron did the power play and just boosted McAfee up even more. And now Stephen A. is in his feelings even more. And as Jay said, he's going out like Drake. It's getting worse. He should have honestly stopped a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Like, what about before or after Gil's Arena?
He should have never went on Gil's Arena.
He should go on. You ain't got to say what you said.
No, I don't think he should. I mean, he should have. He really went on and talked about other stuff. I'm saying he should have never even talked about this. Like you addressed it that next day. You went on air and said however you felt.
Remember we came in here and he was a sympathetic figure. We were actually going to look at LeBron a little differently, remember? Right. Because we were like, dog, Bron, you are a big-ass dude. And maybe he didn't mean what you – like, remember that? Because we were like, dog, Stephen A. came in here and was like, he tucked the tail. And he was just like, I was talking to a father. And then I was like, dog, the dad in me was like, all right, at least you respect that I was coming at you because you said something about MJ. Right, you know what I mean? And then that turned into –
read them comments.
And then he read them comments.
Don't read them comments.
And then he watched New Jack City. And then he put on his black. He put on his black and his herringbone.
Put on the black and the herringbone. Hey, you know how when somebody stole Martin's CD player and he came in there with that fake rock roller, like who stole my CD player? That's how he came in dressed with the.
When somebody wear a turtleneck, they mean business.
They mean business. They mean fake business.
First it was ESPN. Made me talk about it, but then you go on there dressed like Martin. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, can I say something that won't be a joke? Can I say something that won't be a joke, but it lands right in this moment, and this is one of the things that got me in trouble. I remember when Colin Kaepernick finally started protesting, I was with I was like, let me understand it, and I was with it. And then as soon as, this is real, as soon as I saw the costume, the black leather jacket, the big round perfect afro, and all that, and I was like, dog, are you a fucking villain? Are you in a superhero? Are you in a movie? Are you really like, I was off, and people were mad at me. I was like, dog, this shit's see-through.
You look like Meteor Man.
Yeah, like why you gotta wear that to do that? And then when Stephen A. wore that, I swear I was like, 5, 4, he's about to lose it. He gonna crash out, and he crashed out. So,
well, let me ask you this: can you still watch Stephen A. and have the same respect for him that you did 2 weeks ago?
No.
Exactly.
I don't care about the respect, though. It's about the money.
Yeah, of course he does.
But did you have the respect to begin with?
My belief is that he wants the money for the respect. Okay. You know what I mean?
I always thought Stephen A. was going to be the most extreme balanced opinionist out there. That means he'll go all the way on you, but he has a code. And then he'll also go all the way over there, but he's going to show respect. But now he just showed me on one side at least, fuck my code. I'm going to go there because you beating me at something. And Whitlock always goes in on Stephen A. But I was like, Whitlock may have his own issues, even though I listened to it. I was like, interesting. But I didn't read Stephen A's book, and a lot of it's based on that. But then it turned into like the Max whole situation. And I knew way more than I told the world, and I knew way more than Stephen A told the world. But I was like, Max ain't going to say nothing. I ain't going to speak for Max. I'm just going to tell you what I see. But there's way more to that story, too. Wait, whoa. So I was like, let it be. But then this one, we all see this one. And it's funny because you say it's about the money. That's the currency of the world. In school, our currency is grades, right? We there to get good grades so we can go graduate, right? Get to the next level better. And then you ever been in school and noticed that the only thing that interrupts the currency is somebody who's cool, like that cool factor? Yep. Or that motherfucking star, who's the captain of the football team or whatever, right? Or something, whatever that is, right? He ain't got to play that game. So Stephen A thinks that by climbing and getting to the top of the building in currency and money means you at the top, but he forgets, just like in school, somebody could walk by a name like LeBron James and take your girl. Take everything you got that you thought you bought. That money ain't enough. And dog, when I used to go in the club with the NBA dudes, I'm gonna leave their names out of there, 'cause a lot of them married now. They used to beat me. And it was one, because they had more money. And then two, I knew who they were and nobody knew who I was. And I was trying to spin my way to find out who I was. Dog, you can't compete.
And that's my whole
You can't
point
compete.
to this whole thing.
You can't compete.
As soon as you start getting chinks in the armor, it's not gonna be the same. And he has allowed and invited chinks to get put in his armor.
I don't
He's
know.
their
Hey,
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, Richie. What you calling me?
He got cheeks in his
You
armor.
can't say that no more. You can't say that no more.
First of all, Gene is Korean. That's first of all.
I said it because I knew I could say it. All right, speaking of what you should say and not say, give me this Brian Windhorst angle. This is the one thing. I think LeBron came through this fight. He won 11 rounds of the 12, but the 12th round he lost, talking about Brian Windhorst. One, Brian Windhorst is likable, lovable, cuddly. Like everybody, like, oh, leave Wendy alone, dog. He ain't doing nothing but sitting in the suit just telling you what LeBron used to do, right? But then LeBron went there and said, basically, the quote of, like this dude who's saying he's my best friend going around here talking about like we're besties. That's kind of weird to me. What do y'all think about the LeBron Windhorst layer?
Go ahead, because I'll follow you.
I was talking to Jay about this earlier. I'm like, this is where I feel like both of them are doing things out of character. And I get LeBron on most of the stuff he was saying. I agree with him, and I know why he's coming from that standpoint. But Windhorst is the same guy that you said from early in your career. This is the guy that knows me better than everybody because he's been following him way before he even got into the league. Windhorst is always the same person who's always like on LeBron's side. He don't never really, even if he disagrees, he doesn't really ever say anything that throws him under the bus. Like he's always team LeBron. So the one guy that is always riding for you, that's not the guy you throw under the bus. That's not the guy you do that to. Even if you don't agree, you don't do that to him.
Only two people know what their real relationship is.
Two of them.
LeBron and Wendy. Right? And Wendy has rode that whole LeBron bus all the way to a lot of money and superstardom and a spot on TV every single day.
Facts.
What if they were never, ever that close?
That's
what if that shit was all a figment of everybody's imagination and just a made-up story?
Let me just say this. That's fine. If the moment Wendy says something crazy, then I'm all for LeBron doing that.
Well,
but
LeBron
Windhorst
felt
has
like
never
whatever
said
that
nothing
was,
about him.
Whatever that was that LeBron was referencing, maybe it sounded crazy to him. Maybe that was it. And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to clear the decks on everything right now. I don't even know this dude.
I think Brian saw the opportunity when Brian was 18, 17, and he was like 25, 24, and saw the opportunity. And LeBron saw the opportunity to get his first little infiltrator in the ESPN to spin my stories. And so once Brian started critiquing him, that's probably when the legs got cut off.
Yeah,
so
I think there's a relationship there, and I just think he wanted to kind of like check Windhorst, like, you can't speak for me. You know, we're not as close as you make it seem to be. So I think it was more so LeBron putting it out there like, okay, yeah, we have a relationship, but it's not on no bestie relationship. You can't speak for him.
He gave him a career.
He said it like that.
He gave him a career.
Yeah. He didn't say it like that. But it's kind of weird to me. Like Stella said.
What LeBron is telling us is that he doesn't have a relationship with Windhorst. That's what that's telling me. Because even if it's tangentially, even if one of our crew said something about me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's my man. Maybe we got to talk about it and figure this out. He was like, that I don't even know this dude. That's what he was saying. He was like, this dude's not in my circle. And he was making that really clear. That was that message behind the message.
I think what was clearer than even that clear message was like, yo, Windhorst and I, like that's a little different than y'all see it. Because using the word weird is kind of like, you're putting me out there if I'm Windhorst. That's not the flavor. Yeah. I think what LeBron, and I'm not going to lie, I swear, it feels like LeBron is going through this. He's been LeBron. He's never complained about this shit. He's been passive aggressive as you have to be. But look, everyone that I know that has that level of platform that actually communicates and connects with their audience. Because you got to remember, there's some people who are passive aggressive too. They just don't give a fuck about us enough that they show it. Yeah. Like, all right, and I'm not calling them out in a bad way, but like Jay-Z doesn't have like a real social platform and all that. You know why? Because he don't want to tell you how he really feel. So he's like, why do it? So like, because if I do it, I'm going to sooner or later either be passive aggressive or direct. And y'all ain't going to like direct, right? So he doesn't do it. But I know Jay-Z somewhat. And let's just say that y'all need to hear some of these opinions, but he's like, nah, I'm going to be Jay-Z. So the point is, LeBron has been LeBron. Think about this. 22 years playing basketball, what has he done wrong? Zero. Nothing. Okay? So then he's like, I protected people. I let people say whatever they want. Never check Stephen A. Skip Bayless had a career start, go to the climax, end, and I still didn't check Skip Bayless. And y'all think it's because it's race. No, because I don't give a fuck. Yeah. But when you talk about the thing that I do give a fuck about, it's not even basketball. It's I'm a father. A guy who didn't have a father with a son that's playing in the league. Name the next one. Name the one before me. Go ahead. Okay. You gonna go there? All right. This is what's gonna happen now. Since y'all wanna make it all about the GOAT, y'all wanna make it all about basketball and all that shit, fuck all that. I don't care about none of that no more. Forget that Jordan reputation. Forget that niceness. Forget that. You know what? I'm better than you. And I'm gonna show you why you ain't shit. So that's what you get. Bye-bye, Stephen A. Smith. Then he goes to the next one. Oh, Brian Windhorst, you built yourself up a little bit, but I heard a couple things you said that I ain't say, but you ran with it because of our association. Bye-bye. So all these things have been redefined. And if you've ever been somebody who's like, I'm going to suck it up for a minute while I get used to this place, new to this place.
I ain't want to break your moment, but that was crazy.
Break that shit.
For a whole minute?
Break that shit. For a whole minute. Hey, you can be running for 99-yard touchdown. You're like, nah. You say you sucked it up.
And you were cooking. You was cooking.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to break it, but it was crazy.
You were
cooking. I was cooking. But I think he really had that redefining moment.
Which means LeBron crashed out too.
Well, no.
They both crashed out.
That means LeBron is saying, no more nice guy. Right. We can handle this like gentlemen. Yeah. This is what I always tell.
Crashing out don't mean bad all the time, though. Well, crashing out means I'm going
I've
all in.
I've never seen a good crash.
Well, you already said that part of it you didn't agree with. But you said the first thing is 11 rounds he was winning, but the 12th you feel like he lost.
Oh, no. I don't mind this Windhorst thing. I was saying it for the public at large. Me, he won all rounds. Let me finish this. Let me say this. When you redefine yourself, because I've been in that position before, I've been like, look, dog, I'm really nice. I handle stuff like a gentleman should. But I can get into gangster shit, and you won't like the results, and me either. So that's why I don't get in gangster shit because I know I'm going to win. I don't get into it because I know the mix of what winning and losing going to look like. Yeah. I get you, you're going to get me, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I don't do gangster shit because we both going to lose. That's why I do gentleman shit. But LeBron's like, oh, since you already going on air saying I never could be your GOAT, I can't win. Well, let's get into some gangster shit. And that's what this is.
It was a complete LeBron reset.
Yes.
That's what it was. He was saying, okay, now McAfee is my man on ESPN. So that's who you can count on, just like Aaron Rodgers does. He also cleared the air on his relationships. He said he wasn't tight with Windhorst. He said he and Kobe weren't tight for most of their careers. And he said he and Jordan don't have a relationship. So what he's saying is, I'm a man all amongst myself. Me and my crew got our own thing. We are doing it our own way, and I can pick and choose who I deal with and who I can't. So if he's not dealing with Michael Jordan, he sure don't give a shit about Stephen A. Smith. Right. If he wasn't hanging with Kobe, he sure don't care about Brian Windhorst. LeBron reset the whole equation. That's what I'm telling you.
And to be clear about that, when you're competing, you're really not hanging with anybody.
At
you
that
know
level.
who you're competing with.
At that level.
That's why he clarified. He said once Kobe
not.
retired and he came to the Lakers, that's when they got close, and that's when it was the relationship.
And he said, once I stop playing, that's when me and MJ will be cool.
Yeah,
because you know what? Kobe got a chance and was afforded an opportunity, a lane and connection to Michael Jordan. Oh, you going to be the next Jordan? Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. We already made that association. Let's see if you could beat him. But LeBron came in. There was none of that. You're going to be the next Jordan. It's going to be like, oh, this kid is insane. What are you going to be? And if he would have went to Jordan, it would have looked less. It would have looked weak. It would
like Kobe.
Right.
And Kobe's my favorite, but it would have looked like
it would have looked like that, right? So he's like, I'm not
their game is different too. You know, their style of play is
right. Yeah.
Because they
so
never
he was like,
compared
I'm
him
not
to
even
Jordan
doing-
for that reason.
Yeah.
Right. So he was like, I'm not dissing Jordan. I'm not dismissing Jordan. I'm not distancing myself from him. I'm just going to try and figure this out for myself. And in basketball world, they penalize you when you get assistants. All this big three stuff. When literally, dog, every team I've ever seen ever had numerous Hall of Famers. Either the GM got them or the players got them. But by hook or crook, they were there.
Jay, that's him trying to excuse KD for his suspect move.
I'm always going to throw some KD love in there.
The move to Warriors?
Yeah. That's what that was. That's a cover up.
And Stephen A. said that was the weakest move in sports history.
We all
he
think
got
it is,
criticized.
except for him.
He had to bring KD mama on for that and apologize in front of everybody.
Yeah, and I wonder if it was sincere or not.
And I like LeBron better today than I ever have.
Yeah. Me
Like,
no lie, yes.
Absolutely. I'm
got a
like,
new respect
oh,
for him.
shit.
No,
I'm all
this
in
is,
on
this is
LeBron
not
now.
being a prisoner of your success. And I swear, of the people that I know that are really successful and really rich, I laugh at, like, sometimes, like, dog, you got all this shit and you don't flex. So they used to get mad at me when we go hang out, because I go to the party with them and I'm going to gym pop. I'm going to the regular bar, and I'm standing in line with people, and they were like, I go to a game, I like to sit in the seats. They're like, why are you doing that? And I was like, because this is where the people at. This is where the energy at. This is where the heat at. I'm like, hey, what the fuck you doing? Like, you over there with them nine people over there. Like, look, right, wristband. So they were like, dog, why you doing that? I was like, because, and I was like, if you came down here, other than a few extra pictures, it will be your favorite experience of your life. And I'm so glad LeBron said, fuck this high horse that I know I should ride on, and I'm gonna come down there with y'all little ponies and ride on your ass.
So watch and see how many cats follow his lead now.
Well, I mean, they all got to follow his
All
lead
of
because
them.
nobody bigger than him.
That's right.
He top
to be
dog.
honest, who hasn't Stephen A. sat down with? Kevin Durant, who they have back and forth in the media, and LeBron James. It's been these two figures in the basketball, in the NBA, who he's just felt insecure that he has not got that one-on-one with.
Yeah, and he won't get it with LeBron now. This is over. Like, no, I don't mean it like in a real way, like they really got beef. I mean it in like the persona, the whole industry way. Like, we're gonna play this all the way to the fullest.
it's a wrap.
They do have beef. LeBron has beef with them.
You in what
He
ways?
just
you think?
slapped the shit out of him yesterday by going on Pat McAfee. That was a beef move. There's no question about. Yeah, come on, man. That's no.
move.
That was a chess move.
He's choking off the pipeline to his information. And
But I'll say this: is it any more of a beef than any other player who has had
Lord.
dislike for Stephen A. Smith?
well, it is because it's LeBron. So everything is elevated.
And then hit a game winner last night.
And hit
And
the
then
game
hit
winner.
the game winner. That's right, T.
Poetic
Cherry on top.
justice.
Yeah.
I think it's a license to look like they say on a team. You know you get the leader to follow. Everybody else will. Let's curse out Tom Brady, and then every Patriot will follow. This feels like, oh, I ain't got to go on ESPN just for ESPN or just for Stephen A. Smith. Oh, I ain't got to be nice to this journalist no more. So they chastised us when I got in the league. They used to always say, never argue with the media. I mean, literally journalism 101, they told us in our media training, never argue with the media because they always get the last word.
Yeah.
Now, because of Players Podcast, LeBron having his own media company, and the fact that LeBron James just said, man, fuck that shit. I ain't kissing your ass. You disrespected me, take it back. And now every player is going to feel licensed to be like, is Stephen A. walk up with that walk, and they're going to be like, they just bump him, like, move. Like, instead of like, oh, you may talk bad about me tomorrow. Who cares what you saying? Like, LeBron took a lot of air out that balloon.
He's chopping the tree.
So
Chopping the tree.
Does that drive
Think
more
about
traffic
it.
to McAfee? So all the ops on the Stephen A. side, will they be now pull up on McAfee?
That's how the world works. It doesn't work like that for me, but I do see the world working that way.
And McAfee he's a former player, so his platform is bigger than Stephen A's or as big as Stephen A's, however you want to see it. But he's more player friendly, which is why Aaron Rodgers was always going on it, because he's not coming over there for confrontation. He's trying to empower the players, and so it works evenly for both sides.
And it doesn't feel corporate either. It feels very laid back.
Yeah, it's like the guy.
You can
It's
be
like this.
yourself,
Like
let your hair down.
His boys just hanging out.
Damn, McAfee is running some master. I mean, he's already been masterminding this
He's
shit.
gonna be out of there soon.
Who? McAfee?
That's
He's gonna
what
leave again?
I think so.
No, you got to remember, he only came because
He was tired of the independence
the
and having to deal with all
infrastructure
the weight of it.
The infrastructure that is on autopilot there is
I'm saying
way different.
I'm saying
than,
he can get a bag from another network. I'm not saying he has to go out being independent again.
Okay.
But I think he's like over the whole ESPN politics and a lot of what's going on.
I don't
there.
see that because there's only two
Just my
networks.
opinion.
There's only two, that or Fox, FS1.
You know what Fox would pay him to get him over there?
They could.
More than ESPN.
They could. You're right. I mean, that would change the whole game. I like that. I like that.
His
I mean,
platform
he
don't
flipping.
change. He gonna have his fan base.
Well, how about this? It's almost working better for him to have dissonance.
There you go.
Staying in there versus then I'm going and then having this rivalry, because that's why Skip and them left, and then it didn't work. Like as great as Skip was with Shannon, they never fucked with First Take, and that's what's. This is the worst part.
That's not true though.
No,
that's
they
not
did.
true. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm talking about numbers. I'm not talking about like.
I know why you
cultural.
said it, but here's the spin
Okay.
on that. Initially, when Skip and Shannon went over there, they were beating First Take
Because they were on ESPN too.
People forget First Take was on ESPN too.
Oh, I was going to say
Once,
that.
once
I was going to
Skip
say that.
and Shannon was beating them,
Yeah.
then they moved it to the regular ESPN,
Yeah.
and then their numbers went above. So they was on them.
No. But you got to walk with me. So the reason I stopped and paused and looked at like, because I was like, these motherfuckers, this shit is gangster. So when they moved over there, they was like, we can beat them because they were on 2, and they were like, we're gonna beat them. And then FS1 was like, we're gonna put you. We only have FS1 for real. Like FS2 was like, if it was even around. And then ESPN was like, oh, let's turbo boost this shit. And this is the part, and this may sound like haterade, and some of it feels like haterade. I ain't gonna lie, but it may be real. So then they go to ESPN1, and now Skip and Shannon, as great as that show was, and it was great, good luck. You're never fucking with us, right? You can't. It's an airplane to a space shuttle. You ain't fucking with it, right? And they never did, really. In their peak, in Shannon with the goat mask, the crown, the black. Dog, you should see those numbers compared to First Take. It never did it. But here's the point. Guess who took all that credit and said, I've been #1 forever? This is haterade. I'm going to admit it, but it's not really. But it's just the facts. You took a show that Skip built up. Then your network put it on 1 when y'all was starting to get fucked with. And then you like, I've always been. And that's the shit somebody need to call him on. Like, dog, yeah.
You just did.
Oh, I did? Oh, my bad. I'm just saying, like, and I know Shannon never going to do it. And I know RC.
Because he threw him a lifeline.
Yeah, because all these cats are like loyal to a fault to him because of the allegiance and the stuff that he gave them. But I'm not in that position. So I'm like, I'm going to just call it what.
And not only that, but now Pat McAfee is probably even more valuable to ESPN than he was 2 days ago.
Because they're not going to go to Stephen A.
They're not going to go to Stephen A, but they can still keep it on network. Right. So his next contract's going to be bigger.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, because what he did for College Game Day, we ain't even talking about College Game Day.
That's right.
We ain't even talking about WWE. What he doing?
No, you should talk about that.
Dog, he is insane in the membrane.
Yep.
It's next level stuff. All right, let's just get a little breath and get away from this and talk about something else that maybe people not really seeing for what it is, which is Deion Sanders being the GOAT corner he is, right? There's no other corner greater than Deion Sanders, we would say, correct?
Facts.
But Asante Samuel woke up one day last week and said, I choose violence.
He's been doing this for years.
He's been saying it for years?
Every year he posts that.
Well, shit, it finally caught my attention. I'm sorry, Asante, because I've always respected you, but numbers count. And boy, they don't lie to me.
They don't.
Deion Sanders versus Asante Samuel in the numbers. Let me give you a couple of big numbers. 188 games to 153, Deion to Asante. 53 picks for Deion. With 35 more games, 51 picks, Asante. He had 35 fewer games, 2 picks fewer. Deion, with those 35 extra games, 5 playoff interceptions. Asante, 7. What? Postseason, when it mattered. 2 Super Bowls to 2 Super Bowls. There are other numbers we can go to. Asante kept going to. But now I'm asking, did we just give Deion the GOAT cornerback and never, ever revisited that? Or does Asante, he really got a point? We need to listen to this.
No, he don't have a point. And I'm gonna tell you why I say this. And I was about to say,
Don't do the Jordan debate.
I'm not. But you said something.
Hold on, what kind of shoes you got on?
These are Nikes.
He got on Deion's.
Nah.
He got on Jordans.
But you said something towards the tail end of the last topic, and I'm gonna tie it in here. So just
hold on.
Work with me.
You said tail. I'm just fucking. I'm trying to get my mind back. You said tail end. You said tail end.
I'm gonna tie it in because you said, oh, ESPN had better ratings, no matter how much we like what Skip and Shannon was doing.
Yeah, you just can't let go. Are you psychotic?
No, I'm tying it in. Let me cook. Let me cook.
This shit was over.
I literally prefaced my statement by saying I'm gonna tie these 2 in. Let me cook.
I'm sorry, I'm about to kill you, Bubba.
What they say? Let him cook. Right? I
ahead.
brought that up because
What?
numbers and impact are 2 different things, and in any sport, stats can be skewed. Like,
stop that shit.
it can be.
That's not true.
It can be. Just you can have a coach, and the coach can change how your numbers look. The team that you play on can change how your numbers look.
Can a coach make you make a shot? Well, he can't change your numbers.
A coach can say, hey,
he can put you in position.
they can call plays to get that ball in your hand more.
It could be
which
easier.
changes your numbers.
It could be easier, but you still got to make it.
Right, but you can also have a coach that don't give you no run at all.
Yeah, Kevin Love.
Your
Kevin Love,
skills-
the best example. 28-12
Right, so
in Minnesota.
skill
Then all of a
set-
sudden you third fiddle.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Your skill set is not determined by numbers because there are factors that play into why your numbers can be what they are.
Oh, so you're saying Deion's the GOAT because he was the most skilled, or he was just the best?
I think he was the most skilled.
Skilled is not. I'm not even
Between-
going
I'm
to
talking about-
corner skills
I'm
because
talking
like
between him
Lester
and
Hayes or some shit gonna come out of the woodworks. I'm not talking about corner
I'm
skills.
talking about with Deion. To me, it's skill set. There is numbers are in play, and it's impact. And I think he across the board in every category was number 1.
Look, yes, you're right. You ain't gotta fucking rub it in my face. I know you're right. Hey, I just jumped off sides. Fuck it. All right, let me just
Blow your nose, wipe your head, whatever. Whatever.
I get it. But do you remember our Ray Lewis conversation with London Fletcher? This is this conversation where it's like you got somebody undisputed, the heavyweight champion of the world, GOAT, Deion Sanders. And then somebody was like, oh, really? Look at my numbers. They're not as good as his. Some are better. And we don't ever mention Asante Samuel in any cornerback conversation. We never mention London Fletcher in any defensive conversation about who's the best defender. We look at Ray Lewis and say, stop playing. Don't maybe give me Dick Buckus. But no one else better be in that conversation. And London Fletcher's like, hold my beer. I think Asante Samuel just said, hold my beer. And you don't want to even look at the numbers because you want to hide behind impact.
I see the numbers, but I also know that they throw the ball more in Asante Samuel's era too, which goes into the game evolving and rule changes and a whole bunch of different things, which is why I say you can't always look at stats.
Nobody said you had to have a good retort.
Stats can be skewed.
Fuck your good retort.
Different
Fuck
things
your
that
good
are
response,
happening.
dog.
Well, also as a quarterback, maybe they threw the ball to Asante Samuel's receiver way more than they threw it to.
He just said that. He literally just said that.
Well,
but you just try to just Southside Chicago ass.
Well,
you
no,
just said what you said, paraphrasing that. Right. That's how you got through college.
Yes.
This motherfucker
Barely.
Plagiarism. That's plagiarism.
Barely.
He literally just said they throw the ball more in this era.
No. He's saying the era's different. I'm saying even if it's in the same era,
they threw it at him. That means he's not that good.
You don't throw it at him.
Right. They
tried him more.
Which means they didn't think you was that good.
So hold on.
I'm not saying they didn't think he was that good. I ain't saying that.
Please, I'm so glad. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm glad you just said that because that just proves my. I'm sorry. It proves my point. Because with Deion, they wouldn't even throw the ball in his direction.
To him.
So his numbers, and he would still get it. So his numbers aren't even where they could be had they thrown the ball his direction more. But they knew not to.
This is the beauty of statistics. And if anybody's ever taken the stats course, that shit is mind blowing. Listen, it's hard as fuck because you never think about your blind side. So here's the blind side of what you just said. In Deion's era, they threw it fewer times. Then in those fewer times, so let's go from 10 to 5, they said, don't fuck with him, so throw it once over there. And then Deion doesn't get the picks, but he gets the respect because we didn't even fuck with him. But then you get to another era where they're like, no, we're going to throw it 40 times. And then, who's that guy? We don't know who he is. He in that Belichick system. Wow, it's a system. It ain't him. We're going to throw it 20 times. And he starts picking them off. 7, 8 picks every year. Why, if we're gonna really run something that's congruent, we don't say he had to deal with more bullets and was catching them with his teeth versus Deion didn't have to deal with no bullets because of this respectful perception that he put out there that was based on his game. Why you can't give Asante Samuel credit for bring it on and knocking motherfuckers out where Deion didn't have to fight anybody after they just said, oh, that's Deion.
Because your whole argument just contradicted yourself. That's if we playing basketball, let's say we both got the same skill set, but you get 2 shots per game and my coach lets me get 20, yeah, my numbers are going to be higher than yours because I had more opportunities at it. So if Asante Samuels is getting 20 passes thrown at him, yeah, he has more of a chance to get more picks. If I'm equally as good as you, but they won't take the chance of throwing the ball my direction, your numbers will always look better. But that's where impact comes in because there's no stat for impact. When you watch
there is.
I mean, there are certain stats to it, but when you watching it, you can see with your eyes like, oh, they won't even throw the ball at him because they already know. So when you're just basing it solely off respect, you're just basing it solely off stats. Stats can be skewed.
No, but all right, let's just have this fun banter back and forth. Back in those days, they ran the ball. Back in those days, they had a fullback.
Right.
You think that was about respect? They just didn't evolve. So back in those days, some things Deion got uber respect, and some things were respected unnecessarily. Like the fullback. Like, what the fuck? Like, right now, if you said, hand the ball to the fullback, you'd be like, are we trying to just give away a down? Right. What the fuck are we doing? But back then, that was genius. Oh, you're going to set up the tailback, and then we could throw a little pass to our tight end, and first down. Yeah. Now people are like, what the fuck? So Asante saying, I ain't playing that game. I ain't play when they had slingshots. I played when they was like, got. Yo, the muskets is out, right? So he dealing with real bullets. Not saying Deion wasn't, but it wasn't the same. The mindset, the game, the evolution, the shit, the offenses. Like Bill Walsh said, Roger Craig had 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, and that changed the minds of everybody. That created a Marshall Faulk. They had a baby. They said, let's have a baby. It's called Marshall Faulk, right? But before that, people were like, what do we do with this guy back here other than handling the ball? And Deion played in that era all the way through. you got to admit, I'm not saying Asante's better than Deion. I'm saying if you want to respect the times like we do in basketball, there was a day where Larry, you know what I mean? Everybody answer this. How many shots, 3-point shots a game did Larry Bird shoot?
4.
Probably like 6.
4.
I'm gonna say 4, 3.
It was 3. Like 3 something. What the fuck? Now, Larry Bird, I ain't taking away from the shot over the rotator cuff that's torn. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping, Stephen A. I ain't tripping. But dog, Steph Curry, like, man, stop playing with me. Yeah. Like, it's a whole different area. So, in that respect of Larry Bird to Steph Curry, Asante to Deion, can you see where Asante coming from?
I'm gonna say 2 things.
I got you a little bit.
I'm gonna say 2.
No.
I'm gonna say 2 things, and I'm gonna let everybody else cook.
Yeah, I'm good.
For one, Asante could never be Deion because Asante became as good as he is because he watched Deion. That's the first thing. Second thing is Deion was doing what he was doing and still playing a whole nother professional sport at the same time.
Oh, here you go with the argument.
There's levels to it.
How's he dressed?
He wasn't even full-time football.
Does he have swag? I don't give a fuck
He wasn't
about
even
that.
full-time football and was still performing at the highest level.
No, Deion is on my Mount Rushmore.
Well, we skipped that part.
Did I just skip over the fact that
performed
Deion's
at-
one of the top 4 football players in my mind? Is Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders,
and Asante Samuel, right?
Okay.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
Even later on, when he went to the Cowboys, put that blue and white on, and still was kicking his leg. I mean, it's the
Dog, it was
showmanship and
sick.
the impact. It's the reason why people don't never put Kareem and Jordan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right there, because people are like, Kareem didn't have that Jordan, that
have
showmanship
it.
of
He ain't have
the airness of it. It's like, but Kareem, who's the most? Oh my God,
Unstoppable.
most unstoppable play, most unstoppable move.
No, but who's the
Was
most
the leading
accomplished
scorer?
between Kareem
Most
and
accomplished?
Kareem.
The most accomplished basketball player ever is Kareem
Jordan? From
Abdul-Jabbar.
college
Lou
on
Alcindor.
up,
Yes.
why is he not right there under? Why is he not in Stephen A. Smith second, number 2 to 1?
Because we like shiny things. We like shiny things.
Yeah.
And being real era. He came before the NBA was born.
That's right.
The NBA, when it was on pre-tape
Pre-tape,
delay and all that, like, I'm sorry, Dr. J. I'm sorry, Jerry West. Whoever you want to name, Will Chamberlain. Like,
Bayless.
y'all will never get your full bouquet of
really see it
flowers
like that.
because we didn't respect it the same. So that's why when you look at it now, Asante's like, y'all respected that era way more at a position where it's way more difficult to play now. Think about it. Like, all right, like in gymnastics, you watch Olympics, you be watching Gabby, what's her last name? Her.
Douglas.
Oh, yeah, Douglas, okay. Gabby Douglas going out there and doing, back. And then you see the scores, you be like, what the fuck is judging this? Even though they give her 10s and stuff. But you be like, and it'd be like difficulty, and it'd be like what kind of jump she did and all that, right? And you're like, okay, no one respects the difficulty conversation when Asante Samuel posts these numbers. He's saying, you want to know the positions that get paid, why they get paid, how hard it is? Deal with a receiver you can't touch at the 5 yards that is more athletic than he's ever been, that's getting 40 passes thrown to him a game versus a cloud of dust and 3 yards and Tom Rathman, and then I got like John Riggins, and then back out the backfield. Like, and Eric Dickerson catching a flat route, dog, that ain't what Asante did with. So let's say it this: anybody think Asante got an argument other than me? Not saying he's better than Deion. His argument is why y'all closed the door on the GOAT conversation when I got stats and numbers and accolades that show I deserve to be in the conversation. Do you think he should deserve to be in the conversation, or y'all just like fuck it? It's Deion.
Well, how he positioned it, stats and numbers. He's not talking about off the court. He's not talking about je ne sais quoi. So he has an argument, but we all know what it is.
If I was him, I would say I'm better than Deion too. But I live in a real world. So living in a real world, I saw it. So I know he's not. But his numbers are great.
What other player do we know that has better numbers than someone we think is actually better than them?
LeBron James.
What?
He got better numbers than Mike.
Yeah.
Well, Mike is clearly the guy. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's a direct correlation.
Robert Horry got 7 rings. I mean,
What are we talking about?
We're not going to look at Jordan first. No, we ain't going to do that again. His first 6, 7 numbers. First 6, 7 years.
Steve Nash.
I'm looking at his
We're
whole
talking about
career.
Asante Samuel. Steve Nash won what? 2 MVPs.
Yeah, but
Because
who
he
would
was
you
a-
compare him to?
No, what I'm saying is you're talking about the era in the system, right? It was because Mike D'Antoni ran the 10-second offense.
Well, that's
He
what I'm
had to
saying.
get a shot.
Yeah.
Stats can be skewed by
So
different
Asante
factors.
has a legit argument to have that conversation. I'm not saying Steve Nash is a goat or
But
on
we
Mount
don't put Nash in
Rushmore,
that
but-
conversation.
But there
in
are
anything.
people that would
Does
for
Asante
that
have- Does he have
era.
the same accolades, like similar to Deion, as far as like Pro Bowls and all, Hall of Fame?
Yeah, down the stat sheet, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Dog,
It's like neck and neck.
Is it really? Okay.
It's pretty wild, and I don't want to. If y'all want more, I could give you more, but it's not necessary. Deion is a better corner, respected, higher regarded than Asante Samuel. But the numbers make you say, did I just give that away? Like, it's like you went on a date. She finer than the other girl that you went on a date with. You just loving her. But the other girl actually said more things that relate to you, connect with you, that are about you, that will help you going forward. But she finer. So you just keep saying, I don't give a fuck. Who ain't been there?
So you're trusting your eye test?
The eye test.
You trusting the eye test?
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry.
That's what it is.
That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah.
So you can't always go by stats. Some of it is the eye test. Just like
No. I went out with
her.
her. I shouldn't have. I should have went with the girl. No, Asante was better for me. I should have stuck with Asante.
But are you happy?
I would have been happier with Asante and some sushi. But I had to go with her ass caviar.
We watched Asante play in real time. Did we ever at any point ever say that he was better than Darrell Revis when they were both playing at the same time?
Or even Nnamdi Asomugha.
Right. So
Ooh,
how are we gonna
homie.
say? How you gonna compare yourself to Deion when there was guys who played in your era that you weren't even better than them?
Charles Woodson.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm going to say why. Because all right, someone says, all right, you're a lawyer. No. Fuck that. We're going to use what you are. You're an investor, right? Investor. You're an investor. And somebody says, oh, I'm a real estate investor as well. Yeah, he stayed. Look at this.
You got that AP.
He got Jack.
That big boy.
AP, right. Like real shit. They got the Forbes top 100 real estate investors list coming out. And you are on the list and you're number 17. And you're like, oh. And then you read the article, the little blurb about you. It says, has multiple homes all across the country, invest in these properties. Some of these have done great. They show the appreciation, blah, blah, blah. And your numbers, and then they give you a Q score and your number is 100 million. And then they show number 1. And number 1's number is 100 million. What you saying to me? I know our group text is, hey, bruh, why they got me at 17 and number 1 is the same number as me? He got numbers that are the same. I'm not even making this shit up.
I know.
Right,
As
'cause
Deion.
His name is Pulte or
His name
Brothers.
is Toll. Oh, yeah,
Black
Thomas
Coat.
Toll.
His bathroom
Pulte.
had TVs in the mirror.
Hey,
That's prime time.
for the record, I said 5 minutes ago, if I was Asante Samuel,
Okay.
I would be saying I'm better than Deion.
Okay.
So I get it. I
Okay.
just don't agree with it.
Okay.
But
All right.
and anytime you have to teach the world your stats, you're not better.
What do they say? What's that old? That's real. It's the same. And if you're good, you tell others. If you're great, they tell you. Yeah.
Well,
So
Marcellus, who had the greatest impact of football as far as changing the game of football? Well, just name 5 players.
Deion is certainly one of them. Let's go back to the old school. Jim Brown, Gale Sayers. You can merge those two. Dick Butkus is one of them.
Even Noor, did
Joe Montana.
Did Michael Vick change the style of play?
No.
Yes.
You don't think he did?
Michael
No.
changed the quarterback. Like all these
The
guys
running?
now play like Michael Vick.
No.
As far as
They
running
play, if you really want to say what made him play like that, it's Steve Young. If you really want to go there.
Steve Young
Steve Young
said
wasn't Michael Vick.
No, Steve Young was a running quarterback. John Elway was a running quarterback. They
Cunningham.
But
Mobile-
not like Michael Vick.
John Elway, they said, whoosh. This is why you got to get a race out of quarterback. John Elway was a white athlete playing quarterback, and they were like,
John Elway,
whoosh.
yeah.
And they was like,
he
don't
was
run
nice.
no more. And then he stopped running. Then he got stiff. Then they was like, Steve Young ran, and it's like, you ain't going to never be great. Whoosh. And then he was like, I won a Super Bowl. Monkey, gorilla off my back. Then it got to like Vic era. like Vic is a brother who did it, but them white dudes was trying to do it before, and they were whooping their ass.
But Vic was the guy.
Vic was the guy. Oh no, Vic changed it in the sense of like, oh, you could be electric at that position, not just run it. They're like, wow.
Take over.
Yeah. I mean, we could keep going. Don't get me started. Bruce Smith, like Reggie White, like it's Duke, Barry Sanders.
On and off the field, though. I don't know if that's what you was asking.
No, because I say that because in basketball it would be who's not up at there. Iverson. Everybody started doing
Iverson
crossover when Iverson changed the game. He changed it from the NBA going to one-on-one to a zone.
Even before Kobe.
So I mean, like
changed
when
the dress
people
code.
look at the game of football, look who changed the game of football. And I think when I look at Deion Sanders, I
Pull this
felt
up.
that when I looked at.
Oh, when
You gotta talk to the mic. You gotta talk to that
my
thing.
bad. Yeah, you gotta put the
you
mic.
gotta spit on the board. Hey, sorry, I'm more secure than you guys.
sauce on that.
I knew he was going to do that to you. I was just waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm foreign to having mics near my mouth.
We need more flags.
Compton in the house. All right, let's talk about this situation. Because we were going to talk about Jayden Daniels sitting with Juju Smith at a game and how moms came through. And Juju Watkins and moms came through like,
Set in the middle.
nah, we got a long life, baby. You know how the mama bears be. Like, mama bear like, shit, we don't struggle this long to get here. Let's go. We going to figure this out later. And that was a story, and we can still speak to that, but a greater story became Juju coming down, trying to penetrate, tore her ACL. Man, it's a female. Damn, female. Yeah, he in LA though. Hey, he live in LA for real. Like, this is a female. Who said that? Ice Cube. Man, that's a female. Respect this queen. It did sound. Hey, I called myself too. All right, she tore her ACL, done for the tournament. We all know. Let's not even play that fucking fake role. She'll be fine. Yeah. She got an ACL. It's a whole different ACL recovery now. She ain't dunking. Nobody. We don't need all that. She gonna be the same person, if not better. But I want to really go into those conversations lightly, but more. Best player that their career was cut short because of injury. Who was that?
Gale Sayers, easily.
Nobody knows this. All right, go ahead.
Well, it is.
What are you talking about? What?
What are you?
And now, in 1948, like what?
Pee Wee Kirkland.
We were Pee Wee Kirkland. Before the Negroes.
Oh man.
What are you talking about? Nobody.
What do you mean? Gale Sayers was Barry Sanders before Barry Sanders.
Nah. I mean,
He was. Hey, look.
Gale Sayers. Have you
all
ever
facts.
seen
just
Gale?
bigger names you could have said. That was only my only point. But go ahead.
No, he said. No, they aren't, because if your
give you
career
one
gets
right
cut short, then your name's not going to be much bigger.
I got an answer for you. But go
He's
ahead.
a Hall of Famer who only played maybe like 3.5, 4 years, and he's in the Hall of Fame as a
I think
running
he played
back.
longer than 3 or 4, but I give you your
He
point. It
ain't
was
played
short.
much
I think
at
every
all.
sport has their athletes.
Gale Sayers was a beast.
I know a guy that won Rookie of the Year and an MVP. His name was Derrick Rose.
Ooh.
Dude,
Derrick Rose's career wasn't cut short. He just retired.
No, his career was cut short.
He just retired.
Hold on, you gonna call that the same career
That's
he
not
would have
the
had
same.
without the injury?
Gale Sayers couldn't play anymore, period.
Or didn't want to play because they were only
career-
making $19,000 a year.
Career
Derrick Rose
cut
was a
short.
superstar who got hurt,
Derrick
couldn't
Rose
play for
been-
years,
Derrick
and then
Rose-
came back as a role player just to be in the league.
Derrick Rose
Like, he
came
was-
back as a starter in the NBA.
He wasn't as explosive.
He
So
wasn't
what?
Derrick
His
Rose.
career didn't get cut short.
It did because he wasn't
like-
the all NBA.
all NBA. He wasn't a
He wasn't
superstar. He
a
wasn't that level.
MVP.
He couldn't-
He would have been in the same conversation.
couldn't-
Yeah.
When you look at like Grant Hill, when you
Right.
look at
Penny.
Anthony Hardaway,
Look at
Anthony
Penny.
Hardaway.
Penny played
Penny.
years
Anthony
after.
Hardaway.
Penny.
So it's
Penny's
like
career was cut short.
Brandon
You
Roy.
just contradicted yourself.
Brandon Roy.
No, because
Brandon Roy.
You just
Penny-
contradicted. You said
Penny-
Penny wasn't cut short.
Penny's was cut short.
Penny played years after his injury.
Probably like about
Ooh,
four. Only like
just
about
talked
4 or
yourself.
5
Not many.
years.
Hey, you know you're fucked up,
Yes, he
right?
did.
You know you're
Not
fucked up.
many.
You dropped the
No,
bottom
you
here.
played like another
You know you're
9
fucked up. He did.
years.
He definitely did.
Penny
Yeah,
played
yeah.
like another
Yes,
decade
he did.
after his
After
injury.
Shaq.
Yeah.
After all that. He did. He really did.
He played in Phoenix.
And
He
he
played
started
for the
coaching
Knicks.
and was
Okay,
getting
then
run.
take him off the list.
Orlando no more.
Then take him off the list. Take him off.
Hey, you dropped the bottle of beer at 11:30. You fucked up. You know you're fucked up.
Cut short means you are done.
No, cut short. That doesn't mean you cut nothing. It means you cut short.
Your trajectory was
Like
cut.
You got
your
lessons.
potential is cut.
Yeah.
Even Baron Davis.
BD.
Baron Davis.
BD.
Yes.
Baron
BD.
Davis is the greatest point guard out of Los Angeles,
BD.
California.
BD was a dope.
He's the greatest point guard.
Oh,
You
had a
saying
great career.
like Los
he kept
Angeles?
playing,
But
but it was definitely
it
cut
was
short.
not Baron
But
Davis.
his best highlight came like 10 years after college when he dunked on Karolinko. Like he had a good career, like a great career.
It wasn't
And he still has highlights.
I think
like,
you have to
that's-
define.
You don't count Baron Davis?
Nah, not on
define-
that. Not on
define-
that. Like,
Okay, all right, let's
define
cleanse
this
our
more.
palate. Let's cleanse our palate.
Define it.
What I meant was what everyone is saying, which is some guys had to stop. Some guys, like a stoplight. Some guys had to stop, red light. Some guys had yellow light, slow it down. Some guys keep going, but you ain't the same. Like who's the big center that got drafted to Portland?
Greg
Oden. Like
high school, went to my high
Sam
school.
Bowie.
yes.
I mean, what's
Javon Curse. I'm just gonna throw that out. Javon Curse before he went to Philly and the injuries, he was a whole different animal. And I know that's not a highlight. I just think he was one of the most freakish athletic guys based on the name as well.
Absolutely. If you're talking about people who got slowed down and didn't reach their
Say that.
potential,
Yeah, let's
that's one thing. But cut short means you're hurt and you're up out of there.
Well, it
You
means
know-
that
you
to
know-
you.
you know what I'm
It doesn't
saying?
have to mean that to you.
That doesn't
Okay.
I don't want to lose ourselves in semantics. Let's say both. Now you got guys who just stop playing.
Yeah.
You got. I like yours better. Sorry. I like yours. Sorry. I like yours. I like yours better than his because
It's racial. This is racial.
yeah. Same brown skin. What is BD is your guy? Who you got there, Jay West?
Derrick Rose?
I can't just pick one. I got Anthony Hardaway, BD. I got Brandon Roy. You named a good one. Derrick Rose.
Grant Hill is
Grant Hill's mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
I said Grant Hill earlier.
I
there
agree
any-
with all of those, but Derrick Rose is the only one who has more accolades than all of them.
Yes,
That's
Derrick
why I said
Rose
Derrick
MVP.
Rose.
has the highest
Yes.
drop and still playing. Like you were like Lonzo Ball is a very mini version of Derrick Rose. Like you're like, oh, Lonzo was starting to. Damn.
That's true, but when you saw Grant Hill come in and when you saw Anthony Hardaway, you was like,
yeah.
Jordan need to watch out.
Like, Grant Hill was-
like
Grant Hill was-
when I saw Anthony Hardaway,
was-
they came with the pennies outsold MJs that one day. I'm like, we got to look at that.
We gotta look at this guy.
Like Penny and Grant were like damn near top 20 in the league when that happened to him.
Penny
Yeah.
was supposed to be the guy.
Well,
Like,
and
he
then
was
I was
supposed
going
to
to
be
say,
him.
what about Hibachi?
Gil.
Who? Gil Arenas?
Well,
I mean,
he already had a decent
got
career. By the time he got hurt,
Agent Zero
he had
got
played
hurt?
for a long
Yeah, he got
time.
hurt.
I
thought it was the gun
I
shit.
thought it was the gun shit and the off
Really?
the court.
No,
I'm serious. I thought it was.
His injury took him out, but he had played like
Yeah,
10
he
years
played
by the
that
time he got hurt.
I think he got hurt like around year 6 or 7 or something like that.
You notice one thing that we've all done. We're all guilty of it. Why there's no football players? I said one. Because we build it in that they gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
But think about it. How many guys? And this is not to. Remember, I had my hater story. I'm gonna have my lover story. Dog, I got hurt. Like my first year starting, before I even started, I had a back surgery. Then I had a torn abdominal wall. And I'm just me. Imagine how many other great players that were greater, that were better. I'm like, we don't even talk about football players that was like, oh, you got hurt, fuck it, we don't care, move on, get into the rubbish pile. Like, what football players? Because I was like, yo, if I ain't get hurt, like Joey Bosa just got released from the Chargers. Joey Bosa, when healthy, he was nice. It's Joey Bosa. Yeah. When he ain't, he's just a guy that's gonna get a lot of money and gonna end up getting cut. Give me a football.
Bo Jackson.
Adrian Peters.
Bam.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson gotta be our guy. Bo Jackson's our guy. But then you say that, and then it don't hit the same, right? It doesn't hit the same.
Because we saw Deion. Seriously.
No.
It was. Because Bo Jackson was the freak athlete that played both sports. But then you saw Deion come and do it too. And Deion was so great that you kind of forgot a little bit about Bo Jackson.
Man, Bo
It's
hurt
not taking
us.
that from him.
Bo knows.
Not forget him like he didn't exist. But we saw somebody else take it to that level who did it for a long time. I feel like if Deion didn't come around, Bo Jackson's name still would have been like the greatest athlete of all time.
Wait. So you saying Deion got Bo out of here in the cultural
No, I'm
zeitgeist?
saying because Deion did what he did and played the dual sports and was the same amazing athlete,
It overshadows.
It overshadows Bo a little bit. His career got cut short.
Yes.
So when you have somebody else who comes after and does the same exact thing, but has a full-length career, I think it does overshadow a little bit.
No, it absolutely does, but in a different lane. It's like, oh, you were going to be the greatest athlete of all time, Bo knows. And we know that Deion did that and did it well. But I'm saying what Bo could have been if he didn't have his career cut short. You think that would have been Deion level?
Yeah.
You think? Yeah, it feels that way. That's all I'm saying. Like, I want to give flowers to people who planted the same seeds, horticulture, but the water got cut off. You know what I mean? And y'all remember horticulture? 8th grade? I remember the first day of school, we walked in horticulture, we sitting there, I'm like, I'm going to get an A in this bitch. I'll tell you that, boy. I'm sitting there like this. Teacher talking, I'm like, yeah, talk to my feet. I ain't hear shit. And then she said, so everyone go outside, grab your hose.
That's funny.
Y'all remember that?
Grab your what?
Grab your hose.
Which one?
Said,
He came back with
Where'd
about
you
4
go?
or 5.
Where'd you go to school?
Right.
I said,
Which ones you talking about?
Where'd you go to school?
He said,
Grab your hose.
did I sign up for the wrong class? They talking about hoes in here, and she said it. She said it with affirmation. Like she wasn't even like joking. She didn't even have a little twitch. I was like, no joke. She was like, no, grab your hoe. And I was like, where's my hoe? She was like, it's on the wall. I said, where the hoe at? Where the hoe? I was like,
Oh my God.
it was on the wall. Like, that's what it comes. Dog, you out there. Now, this is a scene. They should have, we didn't have phone cameras and all that. Dog, this is 1986.
That's how you know he old. We say phone cameras.
He said
We ain't had no phone cameras.
Phone
Camera phones?
Smartphone.
We ain't had them phones.
I'm old as shit.
That damn VCR you got over there.
That damn VHS. No, we out there like this. I'm at an all-black school.
That look like the plantation.
No, we looking like this. Yeah. And we talking. I was like, why are we in this class? Easy A.
Yep.
All the hoes. That's all I remember from that class. All right, let's talk about this.
That's all we want in life, isn't it? Easy A and all the hoes.
Oh, man, touche.
home run
LeBron said that Giannis would have scored 250 points if he played in the 1970s NBA. A lot of people was like, facts.
Where
And a lot of people was like, fucking disrespectful, LeBron.
Where's the lie?
Where you guys on that? Let me hear it, Terry.
LeBron only said it because he knows he could have scored 350. But he put it off on Giannis, so it wasn't on him so much.
That's exactly what it was. My first thought was the same. I was like, LeBron, why are you bringing up Giannis? Oh, because you don't really want to say what you could have did.
Exactly.
Okay, so he's like, I got these Thanos rings. Right. So yeah. So he was like,
I still think it's wrong. No, I don't think you should be.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's wrong. It's a wrong conversation to have. It's like if you take Giannis and put him in 1973 with the same access to the same skills that Wilt had, he'd be Wilt. If you bring Wilt into 2025 with the same access of skills and training, then Wilt would be Giannis. So it's a pointless conversation, really.
So you're calling me dumb because I actually thought it was. I thought it was pretty cool.
But
I got a point.
I just think that LeBron was a sneaky way of saying I would have dominated anywhere, anyway.
Okay, let me at least support my ignorance.
Okay.
My dumbness.
I'm not gonna,
by saying this.
Okay.
There's two things I'm gonna do. I know Mercury Morris, you know, Mr. Champagne Popper, 72 Dolphins. Huh?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, right? So I remember when he was like popping the champagne all them years, and I was like, we used to go back and forth. We got some shit online. We were just talking crazy. Because I was like, I love you. Do not think you would have done that this era. And he's like, but we did it. And I was like, but you did it when it was easier to do it. And I was trying to be respectful. And the only reason I was trying to be respectful is because I understand they had different systems, resources, etc. Mm-hmm. I have a son right now that's 9 years old. And I look at him and I was like, damn. As an athlete, I think he got me by a tier. I think he does. And I was, my best years were young. I was insane. Like, I had a name in L.A. I could go through L.A. just off my fucking football, Pop Warner. And I was like, damn, I'm 10 years old. People know me. My son, I think, got me by a notch. Different era, though. The thing that I noticed is, beyond that is what you said. He got a private coach. His daddy done made it. He go to better gyms. So I was like one generation removed. As good as I was, my best years were young, my son got me beat. And he got me beat on talent and resources. So this is not really a fair argument.
It's not.
If we gonna get into the DeLorean and go from 2025 and go to 1975 and say, let's play ball. Dog, we have all seen the video. Them dudes barely could dribble with both hands. We've seen the video. They didn't even know what to do in concept with the basketball like we do now, right? So all I'm saying is, if you could bring this guy to that era, just like they did in Back to the Future, he would get 250 points.
Being 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
still
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But that's what
absolutely.
LeBron was saying. LeBron didn't say, "Oh, make him train like Wilt, make him be like Wilt."
But that's
to
anybody
Wilt
though. I mean, if
But that's not there's no conversation in. You're just the same guy in a different era. We're saying be the guy of your era and then take advantage of your era and go back to that era. What would happen?
It's not a real conversation.
Yeah.
Because that in any category, then
But
Not true.
hindsight. It's
and
like
that's true in literally
Any-
everything.
yeah, anything.
But
Lies.
we're missing
Fashion. It's not true.
Yes, it
Yeah, it
is.
is.
No,
sure
it's
it is.
not.
Sure it is.
Everything evolves.
Sure it's not.
stocks,
Everything
and
evolves.
Subjective.
Everything
Stocks.
evolves after time. I mean, I look at it. That's why I like when Jordan says, "I don't like comparing eras." You can't really say he's always saluted and paid homage to the people before him. Same with Kobe. They say, "Yeah, I don't like comparing." It's like an ongoing debate. So when you look at what LeBron says, the 250 game, he didn't say he'll do it 250 points a game, and he wasn't discrediting Dr. J, Elgin Baylor, and all the greats. It's like, how many people was averaging 30 to 40 points in the 70s? Probably, I can name probably 10 players. Right now, how many people are averaging 30 to 40 points? I can name about 30, 40 players. You know what I'm saying? Who
That can go
that
get
can
those buckets.
go get those buckets. So, I
But
think.
when you said about the little pup, and I don't know if it can be applicable to what we're saying right now, but I do want to interject because we had this conversation before many months ago.
Oh, you're a snitch. Let's talk.
No,
Motherfucker about to tell. Damn, man.
no, I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I'm like, what we say? What we talk about?
I plead-
No, I'm messing with you.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Don't let my jokes fool you.
No, but the grit part. So when you're talking about the pups, where you're saying, hey, he has me by an edge, better gym, better resources, private coach, but where does that X factor of the grit come from? Because where you trained and how you practice, how you grew up, and instilled a little bit of dog in you, that might not be the case for a little pup.
That's a damn lie. Let's talk.
But I don't.
We had this conversation.
We did.
There's no more lies told in this world than that the hood is the hungriest.
Here we go.
The hood is not the hungriest. That's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Where are the poor? They in the hood. Why do most of them stay there? It's not because they weren't hungry or they were hungrier. It's because they don't have the resources. They don't have the conceptualization. The biggest thing, MJ's favorite sport is football. Then it's basketball. And then it's track and pickleball. And it's literally based off of what I understand the best. How can I apply myself? Where can I see myself? And he literally is based on that. And I'll be like, dog, you pretty good at this and this and this too. And he just tells me it's because of his comfort. He just sees it. He just gets it. So when I was growing up, I knew a lot of guys that was hungry. But I also got to the league and realized, oh, y'all wasn't by yourself. I thought all my homies growing up was hungrier. Shit. Meet Peyton Manning with his rich ass before he even got to the league.
Yeah, dad and everything.
Find out how it feels to not be professional as another dude who had a silver spoon. See, that's why I be laughing. I'm like, dog, these silver spoon dudes, I went to Columbia, and that's a academic mindset. I was meeting kids who was like the heir to fortunes. And they were waking up before me to go to class and going to bed after me studying. I was like, for what? They're like, because daddy gonna give me this. And I'm going to be ready. So that was their game. And we don't talk enough about that. I don't know why media does this weird game plan on people. And this is why I get mad. And a lot of times the hood get mad at me because I be like, dog, they bullshitting you. They telling you guys wanting more. They don't, go to these high society shits.
100%.
These dudes Why you think they wearing a suit and saying hello to everybody they don't care about?
Yeah.
Because they want it. They faking the funk.
Yep.
And then we out there thinking we doing better than them because we want it more. So I look at MJ, and at first I had that question. I was like, my son gonna want whatever he wants more than me? Because he like growing up different, one generation different. And then I look at him yesterday. His eyes, what did I start to show off? His eyes, dog. My son can't see. And he was like, Daddy, I got 3 more races in me. I got to beat them. And I was like, I said, shit.
That competitive nature.
Yes. More
Undefeated.
More competitive than me because y'all know me.
You had that though, so you passing it down to him. Like
I don't know. I think I wasn't
We talked
competitive.
about this once before. If the parent puts that, instills certain things into their kid, I mean, is it guaranteed that your kid's gonna pick that up? No, but it's very likely. If the father, like that moment where you're like, nah,
one.
that moment
right.
where you're like, fight through it.
I said fight through it, but that doesn't
and if
mean
you
I
said-
fought through it.
Right, but I'm saying you're instilling that. So in that same moment, if
Yeah,
you
you're right.
said to him, "Oh, your eyes are swollen. All right, let's go home."
I was in that moment too.
That could carry on to future things as well. 'Cause
You're right.
You didn't instill it in
And
him.
it's the mentality of what social media pros, and when you see them reposting clips of Kobe Bryant tearing his Achilles, going back up, shooting 2 free throws. Now you have Kyrie doing the same thing in a sense. So it's kind of like I have 8-year-olds. I'm coaching 8-year-olds that say, "Oh, Mamba mentality. They sprain their ankle like with a grade 3. They still want to start playing
wanna
like
play.
so." It's not just you influencing them. Is where we at today in this competitiveness and like, no, they did it, so I got to do it.
Yeah, I
Some
want
of
to
them
talk
don't got
about
that,
that,
though.
because competitiveness to me, I keep telling people this. I'm not competitive like a Michael Jordan. I'm not an alpha competitor. Like you can beat me, and I literally was like, all right, pass the motherfucking brew. Like I'm about to just be so. Like and it's weird, but the shit that I'm good at, I'm gonna be great at.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to call that, but I was fast and I was big. So I'm like, I'm gonna outrun you, and then when it's time to hit each other, I'm gonna hit your ass. But I didn't mean I lost a game. I'm like, all right, I lost. I did my best. I know I did because I always try. Like I'm trying to measure what competitiveness is, because sometimes I think it's a production, like to act like you really cared. But you didn't talk. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out because I'm like, my son's way more competitive than me. He gives a fuck. I don't. I be looking at him. We lose a pool game. He beat me in pool. I'm like, all right, run up again. And he running around in circles. Then I beat him. He don't want to talk. I'm like, what?
I used to be mad if I lost. I'm still
I'm
mad.
still-
All right, so
I'm
talk
not
to
a sore
me.
loser.
Where'd you get that from?
What is that?
Was it Pop?
I think my father was like that.
human
I think
nature,
my
though,
father
right?
still, and it's just, I would say it's him, but I don't even know if it was him. I think that's just naturally how I was.
the
I'm just,
environment, you know.
all of
Southside
that could
Queens?
play, all of that could play into it, but because you learn that stuff at such a young age, that you learn things without realizing that you actually learning it.
These
So it
folks
could
are
be
sponges.
environment.
You're a sponge at that age.
But
so-
I wasn't the type that if I lose, I'm like, I won't talk to nobody, but I'd be hot. Like I'd be, to this day, like I don't want to lose in anything.
I hate losing.
Like my son, when
I
he
hate
broke
losing.
his hand, he cried. When I told him he couldn't play football anymore and he was going to miss the playoffs, and I told him no more basketball, he cried more. I was like, dog, we were in the hospital room, and his arm is like on 2 different planes, and he ain't tripping as much as he is like, I'm going to miss my buds. I'm going to miss playing. And I swear, when I got this, I got 9 stitches right here. Some bloods pushed me out of swing. What up, cuz? Let me stop. No, they got me. They caught me slipping. What was Big U when you need him? No, they caught me
You
slipping.
know where
though.
he's at now.
No, there you
You didn't check in, Marcellus. You didn't check in.
I didn't check in. No, they punked the shit out of me. Swing little.
You got the
swing
check in.
little. I was like, anyway, I got 9 stitches right here. And I remember when that happened, and I was like, damn. So I'm sitting in that moment, I'm like, I'm all messed up in face. And I was like, that's my world. I ain't even think about sports. My son literally thinking about like, oh, I can't go here and I can't see my buds, and where's Nate and Jayden, and then you came by the next day. Yeah. I humbly made it. My son is like insane like that. And I don't know if that's good or bad as a competitor. You say it's great.
That means he's the one.
Yeah.
MJ is the one.
Yeah, I
Now
agree.
watch his ass not do
Because
shit.
Marcellus, because Marcellus, when you say that, did you not care because you say I did my best? when you lost, are you the type of player to say, I had 34 points? You know what I'm saying? So I know I went out there and them all, but my team lost. What kind of competitor were you?
Ooh, damn, Jay, no. I would score my 4 touchdowns. We just lost 31-28. I was like, nigga, y'all ain't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck wrong with y'all. Like, what y'all doing out here?
You like
Chili cheese
my
Fritos.
girl was in the crowd. She seen me go off.
I got mine. I won. I'm getting something tonight.
I got mine.
I got mine.
But also,
No.
Marcellus, you've also said you never really loved the game. You loved what it could bring you.
That's true.
So, like my daughter, as we know, my daughter runs college track. She tore her hamstring last weekend.
Yeah, I remember. Wow.
And she was inconsolable. You know what I mean? Like, because track is her life. She loves it more than anything in the world. She sacrifices for it. She doesn't go out. She doesn't do anything but think track
what she told you?
and go to school.
She in them streets.
Oh no!
And that's an individual. That's an individual sport. So
But regardless,
I understand that too.
but that's the love of the game.
No, that's love. That's love.
So it can come in different ways. You know what I mean? In
That's
different
real.
forms.
I'm going to talk about something different for MJ, and because it's happening to Nate. At 9 years old, they could also be going through puberty. The emotions, the emotional swings. This is the first time Nate told me, it was a week or 2 weeks ago, Daddy, I want to quit basketball. I don't want to play anymore. And it was an emotional thing. What he talked about that night was, I hate my kid next to me. I hate school. I hate this. I want to quit. He was talking about quitting everything, and I'm realizing
I've been there.
You're going
I've been
through
there.
the emotions, and it's
Yes.
I'm prepping for having that other conversations, the birds and bees and all that, right? So for 9-year-olds at least, not for adults. For you know,
But that's also the age, Gene, where societal pressures start coming on you.
That
And people say, "Oh, you're good and you're not good." Or you're great and you're not so great.
Yes.
And the girls are saying you're cute or you're not cute. And you know what I mean? So it could be puberty, but it could be
emotions,
because
all those different emotions.
it's all emotional and it's getting more and more selective. Yeah. And this is, you're getting to the age, you guys are getting to the age where I would say I never want to get married and have kids again because I don't want to go through the age that you guys are jumping into right now.
Yeah.
From 9 through high school.
High school.
Yep.
That's the hard
Junior
part,
high,
boy.
that's ooh.
It's like writing a movie. You write the first act is easy, the last act is easy. It's the second act in the middle where everything happens.
Act
That's
2.
hard, right? And you guys are going into Act 2 right now, and that's the hardest thing to do.
Marcellus, at least you've been through it once, right?
But let me tell you the biggest lesson I learned from my Act 2, and this is therapeutic and shit. I remember I was 11 or 12. So my first 4 years of football, we never lost a game. We lost our last championship game in our 4th year. So I remember losing. I was like, whatever. That's the first loss. Okay, it hurt like a mug. Everyone was crying. I didn't cry because I was like, we were like, at that time, 47-1. I was like, dog, we got to lose sooner or later. We lost to a team in a championship game. It happens. 12-6, real close. And I remember that offseason, we go into the next season, 5th year. And I remember my boys were riding their bikes in front of the house. And I came in the house. My dad was like, all right, you ready to go to practice? And I wasn't dressed. He said, what's wrong with you, boy? You ain't dressed. Let's go. And I was like, I don't want to play no more. He was like, why? And I said, I don't just want to play. You know, you're a kid. You just don't know how to even express it. But I was like, I just don't want to do it. What really was going on is you said it, that selection of like, now I'm starting to get judged. I'm not cool. I'm not hanging. I'm not chilling. I'm just a great football player, which this ain't no NIL money. This ain't no, like, I get free chili cheese Fritos. Like, so my only perk is like people like, oh, you really good. And they walk away. And I was like, what the fuck? So I see my boys, they smiling every day, outside, got food, snacks, chilling. And I was like, Dad, I want to just go outside and play. He was like, you do that after. You do that on the weekends. I was like, no, I want to do it now. I got tired of 3-hour practices after school, right?
The sacrifice got bigger.
It got bigger because there was a selection. Either you're going to be in or you're going to be out. And I chose in that moment to be out. And I swear, oh, I love my daddy for this. And I swear he said, patiently, calmly, he said, look, we signed up already. That means we committed. What that commitment means, we're going to finish our commitment. You signed up for this season. I'm going to let you play this year because you're going to play because you committed to it. After this season, you and I will talk. If you don't want to do it ever again, then we won't do it again. Now get dressed. You know what happened. Shit. And without that moment, I would have been in them streets on them Huffies, bro.
And that goes back to earlier what your parents instill in you. Because in that same moment, if he had said, all right, you don't want to play? Cool, that's it. You might not have made it to where you made it to.
Oh, don't say that loud. God dang.
I mean,
That's that grit.
Yeah.
God dang.
Good
That would
callback.
have been it.
Call back.
I'm glad I told MJ to fucking keep running.
And G,
That's
what
why
did,
MJ
G,
is
what did
the
you say
one.
to Nate?
Oh,
What did
it's
you,
similar to what Marcellus is saying. Hey, we're going to, I know you don't like it. Let's change it up. But even for me, it was a little bit of like, how about I just don't watch you for a little bit? And you keep asking me for feedback, criticism. How about no feedback, no criticism? Just go play. Just
go play.
Go play. Have fun. You know, I had him playing with Lando again. He was with him
Yes.
yesterday, and they just playing one-on-one.
Just
And I
play.
saw him fall on the floor laughing, like trying to tackle his coach. And I was like, hey, just play. Just go
Yeah.
have fun again, right?
Yeah,
It's-
keep the
it's-
fun in it.
It can get real big and old and grown.
and there's so much
fast.
expectation these days. Like when I played basketball at your kid's age, my father dropped me off at the curb. He didn't walk inside. He didn't come into practice. He didn't come
He
to
didn't watch it
games.
all.
He didn't give a shit. He had stuff to do. Did you win? Did you lose? There was lessons in both, right? And that's what he was. The year that my team went from championship to losing, the next year losing everything, and I was the leader of the team. He was like, "This is going to be
Hold
the
on,
most."
you lost
Hold on,
everything
hold on.
and you were the leader?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, no, I was
Your
already.
daddy should have been at the practice.
Wasn't much
He'd
lead.
be like, hey, dog, you ain't doing shit? Fuck you doing at practice every day?
Well, that's the
slaughter.
I'm going to let you live.
Well, no, I mean if you playing junior basketball and your team, the best players on the team are a year or two older and they graduate
All
out.
right, Stephen A., we don't want to hear all that shit. Your torn rotator cuff. Your rotator cuff. Okay, I reloaded. Want to hear that shit. All right, let's talk about this. Jemelle
I hate
Hill.
all of you.
But one thing before you go to that, Marcel, I
yeah,
do
go
want to
ahead.
say that kids, and when we're talking about our children, when you take the fun out of it, they will lose disinterest.
That's
I got a story. I was working at Kobe Bryant camp, and the parents came up to me and said, "Why does Kobe have every kid? He's stopping the games because you know after the end of every camp, you play 5-on-5. It's free run and everything. Kobe's stopping the game because they're not running the triangle offense." A parent came up to me and said, "Hey, my kid is complaining he's not having fun no more," and everything. Where I had to I know what Kobe's gonna say, but I went to Kobe and said, "Hey, they said they just want the kids to have fun." And Kobe, I don't give a fuck. Tell him to go home. He gave him that. I don't give a fuck. Tell him to go home. Like, I knew he was gonna say it. Don't come back next year. So, but my point is,
Here's a
they
t-shirt.
love the fun. If you take the fun out of it, they will lose this interest because they don't understand everything. They're so 10 times more observant than we are as parents.
And you're going to have that conversation,
Kids.
and you're going to have that conversation way more times than you think you're going to have it.
I know I'm gonna have
that
it.
pressure just keeps on building.
I got the same answer. Shut that shit, boy. You better suck it up. Better get that shit.
also got an older kid,
Get it with your muscle, motherfucker. Hey, dog, one thing about playing football, this is a different animal. Like, dog, it's going to hurt every day, every way.
You're never going to have that conversation that you just had with MJ. You ain't never going to be that hard on him.
No.
Stop it. That's
Dog,
cap.
MJ can want to do.
teddy bear.
Yeah, you old big
I
ass
love
teddy bear.
that boy can do whatever he want to do. However, I know what you can do. And so we're going to have a conversation between what you want to do and what you can do.
do.
No,
love it. I love
and
it.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna assess.
You can't play corner.
You're gonna assess your kid, and you're gonna massage his ass right back onto the field.
You goddamn right.
gonna
That motherfucker
massage
too big and fast. I'm like,
Right.
you can't wait. What's wrong with you? You big and fast.
kid. I let it slide.
I didn't throw it.
But you're gonna massage the
kid, but it was
conversation to get him back there.
Dicey.
I didn't throw it.
Dicey.
That was close.
I
That was
didn't
close.
throw it.
What an analogy.
Finish with your kid.
You my kid.
Because up to that point, it was like, hey, did it again.
Dicey.
See, if I were still married, I'd probably be picking this shit up like you all are. But this is what happened when somebody's single. They speak freely.
He talk about
Yeah,
his
every week. Dog, all right, that's a conversation we're going to have.
He's single. Ready to
Language
mingle.
difference between
Okay, I
single
love it.
and marriage. Dog, my wife and I'm like, baby, do you remember you used to love me? Do you remember? Why are you so mad at me? I just got these jokes. My wife hates my jokes. I can tell y'all sometimes, be like, dog, like, what the fuck, dog? I stay with them
Before
jokes.
y'all together, you the funniest guy around.
Dog, she
Once
hates
y'all
me.
married, them jokes don't land no more.
They don't land.
You joke around too much.
Dog.
Mr. Ha-Ha.
Dog. All right. Let me give you this one. Tell me if this is a joke or not. All right, so I'm walking up the stairs yesterday, and she's like, baby, I don't think I'm going to make track practice again today. I was like, oh, it's all good, love. Now I got to the top of the stairs, and I looked down and said, baby, you ain't made the last 3 track practices. It's all good. So I said that in a like you telling me like something new. I'm like, this is old to me. We go to track without you.
You questioning her parents. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Blaze,
I
that
said,
was not a joke.
Yeah.
That was a
I knew it. That was
oh, so I'm wrong.
That was a stick yourself.
You right amongst us, but you wrong in the house.
Oh shit! I need this therapy.
Nah, he was wrong.
I thought that was right. I was like, baby, it's like me saying I'm not cooking tonight. Like, motherfucker, you ain't cooked this week. Like, what's the problem? Like, why you gotta announce some shit you ain't been doing?
You're gonna be sleeping down here.
Not bad. I've dealt with worse, baby.
Hey.
Slossing the edge bar, nigga.
3,000 square feet.
I ain't talking about you.
And this just the basement.
No, I ain't talking to you.
2 bathrooms.
All right, let's go somewhere. Speaking of marriage and dating, let's talk. This is a good transition. See, so Jemelle Hill, the homie, says she used to go on dates before she's married now. Shout out to her, living in L.A., loving life, her and her husband. Says she used to go on dates and would instantly lose her interest and love for the moment because her date would ask, how is Stephen A. Smith for real in real life? How is Skip Bayless in real life? So my question to y'all is, has there ever been a comment, something somebody would do, or something that would happen that would make you immediately check out in your dating world? Let me start with you, since you've been both places. You've been married, you've been divorced, you've been dating in them streets. What you got?
If I went out on a date and a young lady asked me how much my rent was.
Now, were you offended by the rent word, or are you offended by the money conversation?
The money conversation.
Okay, I thought the rent would be offensive to me. Like, I'm 98 years old. Like, you think I'm still rent?
That's what I thought you was.
You boiling like Colonel Sanders out here. Talk about rent.
I do rent, so I'm not mad at the.
Okay,
I'm not
good
mad
point.
at the truth.
Good point. Okay, all right.
But it was like it was intrusive. And
How she get to know you if she ain't intrusive? Don't you always got to go one line past comfort to get to know somebody?
yeah, but certain things you don't need to be asking.
Why?
At least not, especially not that early.
She wasn't that fine, man.
first
Just say
date?
she wasn't fine
It was
enough.
first
Hey,
ish.
if she was bad enough, she'd be like, "So, are you ever been curious?"
But it was, yeah, and it felt like a litmus test. But if I went out with somebody and they were asking about you or Blaze, or I'd be like, well, wait a minute, this is about me. You know what I mean? And I'm not a celebrity, so I can absolutely imagine what Jemelle Hill
You've
was
been
feeling.
on game shows.
Yeah, and I'm a bad motherfucker. So
That's why she asked you how much your rent. She ain't stupid. Give that girl credit. What's her name?
but I her name is Gone. Gone.
He had that AP
Gone with the wind. What's up,
Yeah,
Gone?
That's what it was. He had that AP,
He had that AP
That's
on.
why she was asking.
But I had that Snoop shirt on, that AP, them Jordans before he even got to the league. Them shits is sick. Hey, that's them JV Jordans. Them shits is killer. No, they sick. I ain't never seen them.
Lost and
That's
found.
Jordan half, not even ones. But point is,
But I can understand why she would feel that way, because she would feel like somebody's coming at her for her celebrity.
was she? Oh, she was famous.
Jemelle Hill.
Jamel.
Oh, I'm
Jemelle.
I was about to say, who you on the? Fuck that. I want to know about the date. Who was the girl on the date? Why
Oh, I don't want to do that.
No, don't call her out.
I don't wanna
But
do that.
what was the dynamic that you got offended? I think that's a. Hey,
I said, I can't do that.
I thought that was like. Hey, if we got a movie rating, I thought that was PG. I don't think that was bad, but where did it land with you?
It just rubbed me the wrong way. I
She
mean,
must have been a 6.
Yeah, she wasn't fine enough. You can, other than her
It was
looks.
just like That you don't just
You think I
you don't
go out
justify
with-
this question.
This ain't a sixth question.
I'm good. Slow down. Relax.
You have no shot ever being in this apartment. So why the fuck do you care
Be
how much
happy
it
with this
costs?
Arby's.
It's a nice ass apartment.
Oh, we know that. But so
Wait, she was in your apartment when she asked that?
No.
Oh, because then that would have been a fair question.
hold on. So that means you've been talking it up. So how she know?
No, it doesn't. What am I going to talk up
She
about?
just
my
asked what your
apartment?
rent was.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh,
So that's a
weird.
random
And,
question.
and,
Yeah, that's
we're
too
at
random.
an expensive restaurant. We're at Manuela's downtown, having a great dinner.
Oh, that's nice.
It's hard to get a res.
Got money.
It's hard to get that res in Manuel.
Just
Not for Richie P, but
that's
we
right.
know.
That's
But
right.
your name is Richie. So like the girl gonna ask, how much is your rent? B.
This is Rich Porter right here.
Hey, if that's my daughter, I was like, you did your job, baby. You all right, baby. What's your problem?
her timing must have been wrong then, because she didn't do her job. Because now she don't have a job. Not with me.
Shots fired.
Anybody else got a story?
I got one that's crazy.
Shit.
So, I would say probably second date, right? First date going smooth. Second date, I'm about to get them cheeks, and and we chilling, we drinking, the whole thing. And the second date cheek,
Yeah.
So we drinking, we
What took you so long?
rookie. Yeah. You 100% right. So I don't do we
Hey, smart.
Yeah.
Trust me. Hey, you be having these open cases. And shit. Fuck around and find out. Boy.
Yeah, I love it.
Boy, 40 years later, motherfuckers be like, hey, you know what?
So second date, first one went amazing. Second one did it a little big, and she was like, yeah, I just, anytime I get intimate with somebody, I would like to, we take our test together.
Been there before, that conversation. Hey, you got to love the prudence, how prudent she is, but then you're also like, this don't feel right. This ain't the most romantic
I'm
way
like,
of...
we not about to just walk over somewhere real
Oh,
quick.
no, we are.
There's two ways looking at that.
Yes, we are.
Ways.
Either way.
Yeah, if you don't want to walk, you don't want to go. It's your choice, sir. Sir, it's on you. If you don't want to walk, we ain't going nowhere.
So at the time, it's late at night. You know what I'm saying? I want to just run to a clinic or something. So
walk.
Walk. Walk to it. So it didn't pop off, but that rubbed me.
Look how hard he hitting that lap.
Yeah.
He hitting that you already hit his.
I was hot.
He slapping the shit out of
I
his
was
leg.
hot.
That motherfucker slapping his leg. He mad as shit.
I was hot. I was hot though, because I'm like,
I
look,
bet.
I
bet you were.
I wanted them cheeks.
You had already taken the pill.
Two, I'm off that Cialis. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And she like, yeah, or we can do it first thing in the morning. And I'm like, whatever. But in my mind, then I'm going back to the house, and I'm like, do I look like? And then it just.
Oh, now you in your head.
I'm in
She
my
got
head.
you.
She got me.
It ain't about your look. That's why I respect to
I
her.
respect-
Once again, my daughter come home saying that story. I'm like, all right, baby,
I respect it.
between Richie and hanging out with Fred, you won them days. These motherfuckers ain't shit. You got some badass dude with you. Can I hear a story where my daughter lost?
I
Nobody ever
respect
tells
it.
those stories.
So
No.
that's mine.
So is there anything that could turn you off? All right, let me say it for me. If you smoke cigarettes, I'm just going to tell, like, you can smoke weed. You can smoke crack. But if you smoke a cigarette, I'm like, you
just dirty.
fucking harmful ass. Get your ass up on my face. I don't fuck with a girl that smokes a cigarette. She can smoke anything else but a cigarette. Okay,
Hygiene.
I love cats, but there's a number. Like, you can't have too many animals. Because then I'm like, yeah, you missed the boat waiting on the yacht, and now your ass is just out here loving animals like they people.
Yep.
They animals. Like, respect them for what they are, right? Because they don't care about you. They just want food and shelter, right? So, like, let's stop that shit. So that was the two things that used to turn me off. And another thing was if somebody was Hollywood. Not meaning if they were famous. but I hated that too because they acted like, you know, the on switch.
You know they acting.
Yeah.
Name dropper.
Telling me everybody they big brother.
Oh, don't
do that. Cause I know him too, and I know how he get down. We the same. We the homie. Like, don't tell me that. Yeah. Don't tell me you just went on a trip. No. I found it. I went around it. You know, like Indiana Jones. He finally get to it.
She just got back from Dubai.
That was bad. You know what was worse? Oh, I just went to a game. I'm like, what game? Ooh. I just went to that Giants versus Baltimore game. Really? You just like football like that? I was like, where was it? In New York? But you live in Baltimore. I know. I just drove down with the homies. And I'm not lying. This is stereotypical as a fuck. But I was like, yo, you went where and did what? Nothing. I just went to the game. That's it. Oh, you don't know anybody on the team? Nah, they all who? And these stories are 20 years old, 30 years old, but the point is, when I was in the game, like Jemelle Hill was talking about when she was in the game, if somebody would come up to me talking about ball, or especially if they were like a big fan of it, and they're like, oh, and I just happened to meet you, I was like, I don't think it's like just a happening. I think you really went out and tried to get at me, right? Exactly. You asked me my rent. Yeah, I remember that. Like, so,
but right, that whole thing with Jemelle Hill is just a little weird to me, only because so you're an analyst. Your job is you talk about sports all day. So 90% chance the guy that you talk to is going to be into sports because he probably already knew who you were. So if y'all are on a date, and let's say when people on dates, they talk about their jobs, what they do for a living, like that's just normal conversation. So if somebody's talking to you about something you do at work and your coworkers come up because you're a public figure.
But you're a groupie though. You sound like a groupie.
But it could just be regular conversation.
But we on a date. We on a mission.
I like that. This is the point.
It is a fine line. But I'm gonna say, for example, like, and no names involved, but we've sat here and talked, and I'll hear certain things about people that you worked with that were also on air. It's not you weren't saying it to try to name drop or whoever. That's just in the flow of a conversation.
In the flow of how it goes.
So you can literally just be talking to somebody, and in that conversation, it may make sense that you ask, well, how is that person in real life? Because these are your coworkers that you're around.
Date. So if I'm like, yo, so how's Stephen A? It just.
That's what I'm saying. It could go either way. But I think it depends on how the flow of that conversation
depends on how it come out.
If it was the first thing they said,
yeah, that's crazy.
I can totally.
Hey,
that's crazy.
Pull out your chair, sit down. What would you like to eat? Stephen A. Right?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's wild.
But if you like, hey man, you know, I had a tough day at work today. Some of my coworkers are getting on my nerves. Maybe she's talking about a Skip or Stephen A. And somebody's like, well, how are they in real, you know, off camera?
Good point.
That's not a groupie question. That's a normal question.
Then she wouldn't make that kind of comment.
It depends.
I don't know if she would.
That just went to the situation where you say they missed the boat looking for the yacht.
Yep.
Sometimes women overthink and nitpick on little things because they want perfection.
Yes.
So they miss out on certain opportunities because they looked at something that wasn't really anything.
Are you calling her overly emotional?
Could be.
Be careful. Tread lightly.
Oh, I'm not the one afraid to say names and do all of that.
Hey, dudes too, because he be like, "Oh, she asked me for my rent. Fuck that." It was like
it could have been a normal question.
Like you bossing. One day I'm gonna be there. What's the range? What it look like to be like you? Man. Like, all right. So you ever been around somebody who richer than you? And I have. Obviously, we all have.
Right? Yeah. Let me look around. Yeah.
His name is Benson. Come down here, please.
He said Benson.
Yeah. All right. You want to clown? Let's wait for Benson.
If he said Benson,
I am him. He is I, and I am him. Slim with the tilted brim. So let's say this. So I have been around somebody that literally was. They was like, we just got our plane built. And I was like I'm generally curious to let me see your plane. But he was saying it in a flow. But I could have took it like, why you flossing the plane on me? Yeah. Then he was like, oh yeah, we're loving this house and this house is amazing. He's like, but we're thinking about building another one and here are the plans. And he, this is my boy, so you should feel that way. And I'm giving you a neutral way of I kept telling him, I was like, dog, I know how much you got. It's way more than I got. I'm not getting a plane. I ain't got no plane money. I ain't got no other home money. I got this home money. So I was like, but show me yours because I want to celebrate in your joy and see what the fuck. And then when I saw it, I was like, yo, this shit's insane. Like, your plane got like Hermes leather in it. Like, what the fuck? I was like, this shit is insane. And I was like, dope. But I've been around friends who be like this. You be like, yo, you tell them like, I'm about to go get this car. And they like, oh, man, that shit ain't fresh. Like, yeah, they're like, oh, man, everybody got those. And you be like, damn, dog, I'm just, like, I'm not even flexing. I'm just telling you what I am able to reach.
Your life.
That ain't your friend.
That ain't
Right.
Your,
That's
that
not
ain't
a
your
friend.
But you correct. That ain't a friend.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of those though. Than the
It
other
is.
person.
Because ain't nothing worse than when you got a duck around your own homies, right?
You got to be
'Cause
small
then
around your homies.
You gotta dim your light.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think, going back to that LeBron conversation, I think that's where LeBron was coming from. He's like, I gave y'all 22 years of doing this. So, like, I took the shots. I let y'all, okay. Jordan, okay. The Dallas series, I was scared. All real. But how long do I got to duck? I'm number 2 all time? Like, I still got to keep ducking? Nah, it's time to stand up. This is my new house. This is my new plane. This is my new homie. What's up, Pat? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just grab what you really are instead of faking to who you weren't. All right, this conversation might end the show. Top 3 hood movies. Eugene, if you want to go upstairs and see Benson, let me know. No, we're going to start with Eugene. Top 3 hood movies. And when I say hood, it was no other way to say it. They're not B movies. Some of them were theatrical major releases. We know what we're saying, right? Yeah. Like the ones we talk about. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, These tomatoes are ripe. Right? Yeah. The right tomatoes. What's your top 3 hood movies, Eugene?
I'm not going to pick the ones you guys are going to pick. I'm going to pick one that's relatable to me. Basketball. It's a lot
Rush
of basketball.
Hour? Oh,
no. I'm going to start with that. Yeah, I'm going to start with 2 with Denzel Washington. He Got Game and Training Day. Those are 2 that just stand out for me. Training Day.
Wait, you got to set up. You got to set up the parameters for a hood movie.
Was that one of my best jokes?
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was a pretty good one. All right, hold on. All right, you said no. Let him go.
Yeah, okay.
What were your 3? Let me hear it again.
We go Training Day. He Got Game. The last one was Coach Carter. The theme is just
They're adjacent.
But hood movies. Okay, so hold on.
All right, Training Day for sure.
It was hood topics.
Good topics. Good topics.
there were hood people in it.
Hey,
So
I'm not mad at Training Day because I didn't even think of that.
But that's not a
That speech at the end. King Kong ain't got shit on
Shit
me.
on me. Oh, that was so.
It's based on the hood.
They're all black.
But are we talking?
I'll give it a hood movie.
B-level movies, like I'm thinking you talking about hood movies, like
Nah.
not mainstream, like
Nah, don't
the
do
man won an
that.
Oscar for that.
Because no, they all go out into the theaters. It's just some of them catch
like,
and some don't.
I'm gonna
Hold
get
on before. So we got Training Day.
Training Day.
That
the
counts.
Basketball themed. He Got Game and Coach Carter.
He
I
Got
love
Game
He Got
is that
Denzel.
Denzel,
Spike Lee?
coming out.
Ray
was that with
Ray Allen,
Ray
Jesus
Allen.
Shuttleworth.
shit?
That's a hood movie.
He 2 for 2.
That's a
Now what's the
classic.
3rd one?
Coach Carter for me.
What was that?
Samuel
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson.
Was that good?
It's the Richmond. Yeah, the Richmond High.
It
Richmond
was
High.
a good movie.
Okay.
It was a good movie.
It's all right. Hey, it's your list.
They were good movies
That's
for
a
sure.
that's a
They were
damn
all
good list.
movies.
Basketball.
All right, now let's go to Fred.
So I have a quick question. Hood movies? Are we talking like budget? Like, because I'm thinking hood movies like.
It's your
I'm about to
definition.
say, don't let me lead you down into an alley.
Whatever you feel.
I'm sorry. It's just not. It's not Lord of the Rings.
Okay, got
all right.
you.
Like, we talking like what we.
Not produced.
No
not like
dwarfs.
Tubi films.
So, because I was gonna be like Snoop Dogg Games to Be Told, not so like Master Pete, like hood.
Oh,
movie?
not that low. No,
Oh, okay.
no, not
movies,
ghetto
though.
movies. Let me
But those are hood movies.
Unless you think one is a masterpiece.
Shot
not
us.
the homie in front of the car wash movies.
Okay,
not
that's
the dude selling the movie in front of
That's
the car
why
wash.
I was
No,
like,
no, no.
okay, all right.
But he
so-
may
Well,
sell this too.
unless you-
He may sell this
unless
too.
So those are hood movies to me.
They are too.
Unless you think one of those is great.
Yeah, do you. But just don't say Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Just don't say
Okay. I would say Menace to Society.
that. Hell yeah, now we cooking with grease.
I would say Menace to Society. I would say.
Did you not study before the show? Because you playing this shit slow. Like, did you not?
No, because I got confused.
Oh, okay. All right, you're right. Now,
Menace to Society. Ice Cube Players Club.
Oh, that's a pool. Oh, that made Lisa Ray.
She's still diamond.
She's still diamond. Yeah. And I mean diamond like certified RIAA.
Well, you saw that BBL, but and then
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
You know she's from the south side of Chicago, right?
Is she? God, y'all got some heat.
And then the last one, I would say Boomerang.
Wow.
It's one of my top 5 movies.
Yo.
But it ain't a hood movie, but I get you.
Check the beat.
Huh?
Yeah, we gotta check the beat. Dog, Boomerang was sick.
Come on, man.
One of the best black films.
That crossed over.
Yeah.
But hey, doesn't discount.
No, it's still great.
You got a great list.
My man said, "Yeah, that's a nipple because I'm drooling."
I love the pool conversation when they were like, "Yeah, so the white ball, like, right, it goes after all the colored balls, all of them, but it saves the black ball for last."
It's racial.
No, when she took off her panties and was like, "Smell this," I was like, "Whoa!"
Threw it in his face.
All right, Boomerang up there. Damn, these lists are dope. All right, what's up, Just Blaze?
I'm going in no particular order. Paid in Full, Boys in the Hood, and How to Be a Player.
How to Be a Player?
Bill Bellamy.
Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
1987.
Yeah, Bill Bellamy. That's the one.
I remember, but give me more.
I aspired to be Bill Bellamy as a kid.
Oh man,
He
like,
would
this is how you do it,
go
bro.
around all
Bill
the
gonna come on
different.
the
Like how
show.
you said as a kid.
As a
You,
kid,
like,
I watched
cutting
it as a
out.
kid. I was kid.
Like I'm still not trying.
We're gonna have Bill on the show.
Don't
That's
throw me under,
dumb.
Jay.
Dog, that's your top 3?
In hood movie, I mean, I could have.
You didn't say
honorable
Menace?
mentions. There's Juice, and I like Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking
While
my
drinking-
juice in the hood. That's up there too. But
Shout out to Chris Spencer.
I go by
Chris
what I watch
Spencer?
more.
Another
I watch
one?
those more, a little bit more.
How to be a player. I see what you
Dog,
doing
when
there.
your daddy is younger than you,
Yep.
remember he was like, your daddy's younger than you. His son was older. He was cutting his.
They burnt the wax. Oh man.
When that mom was crying and did like the little battle roll.
That's what
Excuse me, beautiful Nubian sister. Can you go tap that beautiful
my
white woman for me?
queen. I still use that line to this day. Every time I see a pretty white chick, I'm like, white
Okay.
Nubian queen.
All right, let's go back to the Jay West.
It's real easy. Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and
course.
Friday.
Of course.
Oh, we so
That's-
West.
I got-
We so
I
LA.
gotta put it on there. I mean, if you want to
Dog,
really
you
go hood,
can't-
I can say
I
banging
could've
on
called
wax.
those three.
But
But he got the best list so far. He got the most thorough list. That list, y'all list are like the BCS when they expanded. Like they were like 12 teams.
What was your third one?
But his list is
my
like
third one was Friday. I mean, I can go back and say banging on wax if you really want to go
said
hood. But,
Menace, Boys in the Hood, and Friday.
Nation side.
but Friday, Menace to Society, and Boys in the Hood. 'Cause
Oh,
Boys in the Hood had a different type of, and that's number one. And the reason it's number one because you had real intellectual conversations that I think the youth could grow from, as far as like the gentrification that was going on, and when Furious was pulled them to the side, and it was just a lot of life lessons I think that really helped the youth in the communities around South Central, Watson, Compton.
Amen.
Hey,
I agree.
hey, you know why? Because
love
Rick was in Compton. I thought you were scared of Compton.
Yeah.
Rick was a
I
shivering
love
bitch.
all three of those. I could argue that Paid in Full could be better than one of them.
Which one?
Which one you gonna snipe out?
Well, here's
Go.
the thing.
In Menace to
I'm
Society,
debating three
Menace to
West
Society,
Coast
look
dudes.
at the motherfucking
So you
wheels.
already know. I already know how this
He
goes.
said that's a 5.0.
It's three LA guys arguing it.
I said a double burger with cheese.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Dog, which one you gonna snipe
I
out?
personally liked Paid in Full better than Menace.
You're crazy.
Does that mean Menace is not great? Of course it is. But me personally, and it could be.
It's your bias.
It's a geographical
Yeah, it's a
thing.
bias.
It could because when I watch Paid
You know
in
you
Full,
done fucked
it's-
up, right? you know you done fucked up,
But
right?
I think it plays into the same. Like for you straight out of L.A.
It's a
So your
bias.
whole list is L.A. Paid in Full is based off of New York. So I relate
Yeah.
to that a little
got
bit
you.
more.
Because
than
he's
I
like
relate
10
to-
bricks right
to
here. You got the
Menace.
10 bricks
got
right
you.
there. Yeah. I know.
Hey, yo, check this out. Hey, remember when Cameron was in the hospital eating? He was like, yo, fuck that shit, man. When you
Shot
gonna come
every
back
day,
out?
B.
I don't think I can do
Cameron
this
looking at the
anymore,
dude about to
Rico.
die. He like,
Yo, he was
yo, when you gonna
so
come back?
good in that.
Cameron
He
can
was
act.
gangster.
Paid in
that.
Full better than Belly to you?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure. It's not even
Yeah,
close.
Belly. Yeah,
They
Belly
shot
had
Belly
moments.
around my way too. I remember when they shot Belly.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not even. It's not.
Yeah,
close.
Belly not.
Belly
not-
was
not
just
paid
a
in full.
collection of scenes.
It's not to me either. It's just
Yeah.
the geographic
Okay, we
relationship.
got this
Yeah,
whole Terry. Oh no. You the filmmaker. You go last. All right, who you got?
What am I?
Always compete with Terry. All right, Underworld.
Talk your shit, Stephen A. Talk your shit, Stephen A.
Anyway, it's Menace, Boys in the Hood, and New Jack City.
I like Jay West's more, but I love you. New Jack was great. New Jack had moments where I was
New
like,
Jack got more moments.
then what?
Than
Then
Menace.
Friday?
I think. No, I didn't say Friday. I said
Boy, that's his third
Menace.
when
I
I'm
think New
comparing
Jack
their
got more
two.
moments than Menace.
You think so?
He literally just brought up a New Jack City moment today in our conversation. He talked about Stephen A. wearing the black.
Okay.
That was with the
I
whole
get
Nino
it too.
Brown.
I get that too.
No, he did.
But I also
the whole
brought up a
Nino
Friday
Brown.
one saying that he gonna cry when he get in the car.
No, not Friday. I'm not debating Friday. I'm
All
talking
right.
about
So you said
New Jack
Menace is
versus
his
Menace.
weakest. So you think New Jack City's better than Menace? No.
Yeah, the three people from
No.
LA.
Yeah, all right, hold on. You can't do this because the guy who said Boys, Menace, and New Jack says that Menace is better than
New Jack.
New Jack.
I mean, that's his opinion. I just disagree. And I love Menace. 'Cause I wanted to come across like I don't.
I wouldn't put Paid
I
in
just
Full
like New Jack
anywhere
better.
near it. I don't even think
I
Paid
get it.
was good.
Personally, I don't think
New Jack was really good. It's sick.
It's an argument.
It's sick.
They're probably next.
Where's Juice at? We ain't got no love for Juice. Okay, I'm sorry.
I said Juice as an
Say
honorable
Juice.
mention.
Terry, filmmaker extraordinaire, better than
I'm gonna go with
Richie Porter. Let's
I'm
start
gonna go with
some
Boys
shit.
in the Hood,
Yep.
Menace to Society,
Always.
and Juice. And Boys in the Hood was more of a personal film. I related to those characters. It was more of a filmmaker's personal story. Menace to Society is more of a Hollywood film. I think it's really good, but it's comparable to like Goodfellas.
Yes.
It has the same kind of character arcs. How they use their music, how the edit was done. So it's more of a Hollywood film. And then Juice is just a classic noir that took place in the hood.
Yeah.
So
100%.
So you said your three once again.
Boys, Menace, Juice.
Dog, there's no arguments here for anybody except Coach Carter. But
I did premise by saying I wasn't going to pick the obvious ones. I went a different way.
okay.
Training
Hey,
Day.
I do got a question.
So you walk in the
Great
swap
movie.
meet talking about, do you guys have any Estelada?
I do got a quick question
What?
since we talked about for the three of y'all.
Given his yet.
Yeah, I know he about to go, but I wanted to throw this out there first just before he says it. From being a kid and like I was in the East Coast, when I watched Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, what it looked like when I watched Boys in the Hood,
Boys in the Hoe.
Boys in the Hood, that felt like
Boys in the Hoe.
Boys in the Hood felt like, dang, this is L.A. Like that's how they
It
how they live
was,
out
homie.
here. More than Menace did though. So I'm asking y'all from y'all stand because y'all lived it. Y'all were here. Which one is more? Do you attach yourself
For
more to
me,
being
Boy
like
in the
LA?
Hood was L.A. as I saw it, and I wanted the world to see it. Menace was the hood.
I was about to say
and I was
Menace,
like, I don't want everybody to know this,
to
but
know that.
that Menace was like, this happens here and there.
Like that 5.0 was really
All that happens
that
in
was
L.A.
nostalgic.
But Boy in the Hood was like, this is just L.A. Like one was like, this is how we are, and this is how it is at times.
So Menace is more real to y'all than
Yeah.
No, they're both real.
They're both real.
No, but which do you relate to more?
Menace
as
was
a-
more
being from
sensational.
Yeah. It's one thing you said more hard L.A. Trenches versus one that's giving you a broader,
the
saying
cinematography
descriptive
had
of
a-
L.A. I think that's what Marcellus was saying.
It's the way they showed it. Because think about it. We always look at Menace like it was more gangster because O-Dog was so gangster. And then, but think about it. Who got shot in his shoulder?
No.
In Menace, who got shot in his shoulder?
about Kane?
Damn, he played pickleball over here all the time, too. That's the homie.
Kane?
Kane, the homie. So he got shot in the shoulder. What else? At the end, Kane got killed. That's life.
Yeah.
Ricky in Boy in the Hood
Fucked me up.
Ricky,
That fucked me up.
like that fucked every kid up. Like,
fucked me up.
like
Not
I can't, mama.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to do, mama.
Rick fucked
they
me up.
killed Ricky in that, and then you saw all the bad guys get killed in both movies. So, like, Boys was like, yo, nobody going to escape this.
Yeah.
And Menace was like, if you fuck around, you're gonna find out about this. So I think Menace went down that darker alley of like, it's already dark. You want to make it darker. Well, Boys is like, no, it's sunshine. Blah, blah. This is L.A. everybody gonna touch it. Everybody gonna feel it.
Yeah, I think Boys in the Hood represented people. Even if you don't gangbang, you may get caught up, guilty of association. Ricky had a scholarship; he was going this way, football scholarship. It just happened to be. And I'm sure Marcellus had homeboys that grew up who were all-star, all-American, but they got killed or. You know what I'm saying? Something unfortunate happened. So I think we related to that authenticity of that. But they're both was real films, like I said.
Yeah. One of the best running backs I knew, older than me, 2 years older than me. I used to watch them at Pop Warner. We finish our games, then we could watch them because they come on later the older you get. One of the best running backs in L.A., I ain't going to say his name just because I don't say enough good about him. Mm-hmm. Killed in the dice game underneath a car. Back. All that. And one, like, the dude had a future because he was the shit and just got caught up in that and got – you know, like, so you can put all your real life experiences into both movies, but Menace was like a narrow lane. Yeah. Like more narrow than Boys.
I feel like Boys is more like an Ice Cube album from the early 90s, and then Menace is more like an NWA album.
Yes.
It's just in your face.
Yes.
It's no holds barred, and it's
okay, I ain't even tell you my three. Yeah. All right, so it's Boys, Menace, duh. Yeah. The third one, I'm not like y'all faking it. I go by what I've really watched the most.
I watched the Players Club. I've watched New Jack City at least 50 times in my life.
So do you like classical music as well? Yeah. You just
I agree.
Inside joke. So basically, you just saying what sound good.
I said how to be a
no.
Okay, you're right.
Nobody said that.
All right. Y'all forgot one. Y'all forgot a mini. You stupid. I'm gonna say my third one is B Street. And none of y'all know that shit, do you?
I know Beat Street.
I'm too old.
I don't know.
I know Beat Street.
I watched it, but like
it's been years.
You might as well say Colors.
Yeah.
Oh, close.
Rocket.
Very close. Rocket don't smoke. Rocket don't choke. Rocket bust a cap in him. Come on. Oh, man. When Hot Top came through with that motherfucking Corvette, they were like, boom, 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 boom. They're like, oh, that music
dropped. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
That opening scene.
Mm-hmm. All good. All right, let's get into this conversation because Xavier Worthy.
So, wait a minute. Let's back up.
Damn, why y'all always do this shit after I move on? All right, what do you got to say?
Would a Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby movie be a hood movie like Uptown Saturday Night?
I think so.
Would Uptown Saturday Night be a hood movie?
I don't know. I almost said Cooley High. So I don't know.
Well, Cooley High is Cooley High.
It's a hood movie.
How you gonna ask that if you didn't even pick it? Like you
I'm just
you
wondering.
don't care. You don't care.
Well, I do care, but,
do you care?
not
all
for
right,
this
give me an
conversation.
old school movie that you thought was actually of worthy. Like, give me one.
Well, Uptown Saturday Night would be one.
That would be one.
Fantastic.
I did see Cooley High, and I was like, oh, surprisingly great. Yeah. Most of them old movies don't translate like them old players. But I'm like, yeah.
And it took place in the hood, too. But when we say hood, we all know we're talking about like
Hollywood Shuffle. We didn't say Hollywood Shuffle. That was a great.
Yeah, Hollywood Shuffle. Yeah. I wouldn't, because we got to label it as a hood movie, then I wouldn't name those. Because it was some hood shit that went on in Harlem Nights. That was Tory Lanez doing
that
shit.
Harlem Nights.
Shooting him in the toe. That was Tory Lanez before the shit. That's a hood movie. You know what I'm saying? Getting shot in the toe.
It's still relevant.
You know what I'm saying?
It's relevant.
Oh, this nigga done shot me in my pinky toe.
I need my pinky toe. So that was some hood shit.
You wanted some orange juice bad, didn't you? Give me some orange juice. Vera, go give me some orange juice.
My mouth all ready for orange juice.
Shit going down.
That's one of my favorite comedies of all
I'm
time.
going to get off of this. I know y'all going to react. Yeah. There was one of those hood movies I ain't like that everybody liked. Life wasn't my favorite.
Overrated.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, Life, like what the fuck?
Life is hilarious.
Huh?
Life is funny.
It's because of the names that's in it. That's why people.
They hyped it up, but it is a funny movie.
Yeah, if you watch it,
I liked it, but I didn't love it as much as everyone else. So I felt like, let me just.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't like Life at all until I went back and watched it. Maybe 6 or 8 months ago.
It's funny as hell.
And it was way better than I had been giving it credit for. So take a rewatch because I was like you. I didn't like it.
You just watched
it.
With
I didn't like it when it first came out.
It's a cool story.
Has anybody ever heard of the movie The Pilot? Okay, good.
With Denzel?
No, it was like an ABC after school special about breakdancing. Like I told you, like B Street, Breaking, 1 and 2. Crush Groove. Yo, that's higher on the list than people are going to give it credit.
Crush Groove.
Oh, yeah, that was sick.
I'm going to get you, sucker.
I'm going to get you, sucker.
Oh, that was classic.
And he came through in those fish tanks.
All right, let's get off this. Okay. All right, here we go. Xavier Worthy suing his ex-fiance for a lot of things. Vandalism, domestic violence. She allegedly tore up the whole spot. And I just want to talk about, because it's all men here. And you know, in this world today, like a woman needs to be there to talk about woman issues. A man needs to be there to talk about man issues. Even though I don't agree with that, I understand where they're coming from. I want to talk about being in a relationship and you're the man and you're like, yo, I'm actually being attacked. I'm actually being the one under duress. I'm actually being the one that they typically victimize as a woman. It's me. So if you guys, if you haven't been in there, I'm going to lead off with this story. So there was a time when I was an active player in the league and I was dating a young woman. And I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible so they don't get in trouble because I survived it, right? So we have an argument, which means you're just disagreeing louder than normal, right? And I'm like, all right, what the fuck? And then my spidey sense go off like, your big black ass playing in the NFL from Compton, it ain't gonna sound good if the neighbors come over and say, what's going on? So I was like, let me lock myself. And I had this weird setup in this room where I could lock myself in the room, which meant on the outside is no lock. On the inside. So you could be like locked, and then on the outside, you're like, fuck.
All right, Matt Lauer.
No, it actually
That's some old school.
I did not think of it. I walked into this house that was like that. I was like, that's kind of dope. I ain't never think about that. So I was like, all right. So we arguing. I was like, let me lock myself in here and just, this is the only way I'm going to get some peace. So I was like, I locked myself in there. And then I'm getting argued. We arguing through the doors. Fine. And then next thing you know, I was like, all right, let me walk out of here. This ain't working because I'm arguing through the door. She arguing back. So I'm like, damn, I thought this was going to work. I'm going to walk to leave. As I'm about to leave, wow. I was like, oh, shit. Ooh. I wish it was ooh. It didn't hurt. I can't lie to y'all. I ain't trying to win no cases. So, like, I was like, girl, you know, I just went to practice. The motherfucker was like 3 times bigger than you. That shouldn't hurt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 11. And after 11, like I'm doing now, I'm like doing football moves, like stop. After that, I'm like, stop. And I walk outside. By this time, it's been so long. Remember, the argument started. I walked in the room, locked the door, walked back out, got hit, walked outside. Neighbors is like, what's going on up there? So now here I walk out like a stereotype, and I'm like, damn, I ain't got no explanation, but I'm going to tell them the truth if they ask. But then, why y'all in my business? But at the same time, I get why you in my business. So I'm walking towards my neighbor house. Police pull up. I'm like, this shit done got real. I'm in the league, y'all. So I'm like, oh, shit. And the police pull up. Now, I'm about to tell them the story because they like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? What's new? And I'm like, yeah, I had a disagreement. Had to bring it down a notch. Like, it ain't an argument, it's a disagreement. We had differences, you know what I'm saying?
Discussion.
Yeah, a discussion, right? Heated discussion. All right, police is in there. And now, they listening. I don't know if they believe me or not, but they listening. You know, they got the little tablet out and writing and all this shit. And then literally out the window of my house is her. No. She should have. She's yelling, help, help. Marcellus Wiley's up here hitting me, doing this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, she just kept going like,
And you were outside.
I was already outside. Because she thought once she was bombing on me, and then she went that way, I went the other way. She never thought, because he done locked himself in the room already. He ain't left. I left the house. So I'm literally by the police. As she's screaming, I'm upstairs doing something to her.
So she didn't see you talking to the police?
No, because she ain't thinking. You know, she's Stephen A. when LeBron walk up on her. Like, you don't know what the fuck going on. You're like, your left hand shaking. So she's like, I don't know what to do. So she's just screaming all this shit. And the police was like, everybody, the whole neighborhood, we were like, and she doing that. And then went back in, and then the police looked at me, and this is what they said. They said, damn, you got a wild one. And I was like, yeah. And then, obviously, first of all, I was so thankful because nothing I could have said that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dawg, I didn't do shit. I'm out here. And they were like, now we get it. So we'll be. Wow. That's why the world has never heard these stories other than when I tell them. Because I'm like, I could have been got. If I would have been up in the house, did I walk out? Then it could have been like, were you upstairs doing that? Point being. But I remember our internal weirdness and fallout of, like, I'm going to counseling with her, and I'm like, she fucking me up. And Xavier Worthy is kind of like in that same place now. He's like, I know I'm this big, strong man, and yeah, but she pulled my hair out. She threw all my shit out. She beat me up, like all that kind of stuff. So raw realness, so people can learn. The tables are flipped at times. And this is why it's not really a big conversation, because most men like us, we just be like, I'll handle it. I'm good. But the real is, you shouldn't have to deal with that shit, because when they ever are dealing with that shit, the world knows. Yeah. Even if it's not real. So if you guys raise your hand, let me start with Richie. I know your divorced ass had to deal with. Had to deal with some like. You ever been in that predicament where the tables were flipped and you feel like, oh shit?
You know what? No, luckily.
Hey, you don't get divorced because everything going right. You know what I'm saying? Like something went wrong. Like I don't want that issue, but something ain't right, bro. Keep sweating.
I've never been in a situation where it's like somebody was going to jail. Yeah. Between me and the young lady.
That's great.
No, I don't.
No, but you ain't gotta be jail. But you ever been where the tables were flipped in narrative? Like, damn, I'm actually the victim right now. Other than somebody asking you your rent, you sensitive soft motherfucker.
Well, you know what? I think in a little bit of a way, and
well, that's the way
and it's happened a couple times. I think a lot of times people assume that women are a certain way because that's what they see in public, and that's their front-facing appearance. Like I'm always me, so I'm always a little bit gruff. I'm always probably going to question everything you're going to say until I really believe it. That's just my personality, and I don't change that for no matter who I'm around.
Right.
I have been around women who, are sweet poly purebred in public. But what? But wait, behind
what? Sweet poly purebred.
You guys never heard? You never heard?
Amazing. Shit.
Y'all never heard of sweet?
I mean, that sounds good. Sweet poly purebred.
I would have used
that one. I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, that's sweet poly purebred. Right. That was a character. She was like the ultimate girl character back in the
from 60s.
They said in the 60s.
Yeah, that's
like she's from neighborhood.
This ain't the week to be talking about 60s.
Right. Yeah, not the 60 crib.
Let's get indicted.
Not the rolling 60 or whatever they are. But
chill.
Chill.
Yeah, you don't want to do that either. You don't want to do that.
I know
either.
you don't know. You better chill. You respect that Vice Lord and disciples. Respect them 6 songs.
They still outside.
I respect all of it.
No.
So I mean, I have been with women who were sweet poly purebred in public, but then behind closed doors, they got sharp tongues,
demonic,
and will get at you. And the perception is I'm always the bad guy because you're always going to know how I feel about something, and you're always going to know what my thoughts are, and I want you to, but with them, you're gonna get some venom behind closed doors when it's only sweetness going out front.
And it's weird because our judicial system looks at it like that persona is instilled in them, right? That sweet poly purebred bread. I ain't never heard that shit. That is amazing. Sweet poly purebred is in our judicial systems. Like, it's in their sensibilities. And then man is like either toughen it up, suck it up, or that really happened with disbelief more than, the same as if sweet poly purebred came up in here.
There was a murder in Florida with this really pretty white chick killed her black boyfriend and stabbed him up. And her thing was he was attacking me. And then they find out she was the one attacking him through the whole relationship. Wow. And she was like some Instagram model or Yeah, and he's stabbed 47 times or whatever it is, and she's like, he was attacking me. This black dude's attacking me.
I never heard
and
that.
it was her the whole time. Yep.
Really? Was he
yeah.
little? Let me stop.
No, he wasn't even a little dude.
Damn.
But they had video of them and showed her going after him one time, and all he was doing was defending himself and just moving away from it as gently as he possibly could have. And then the next attack, she killed him.
Damn. Okay. Well, that might be the end of this conversation. Shit. Fuck.
You asked.
Next time you lead this story. My story ain't got shit on that.
Yeah.
Golly. Have you guys ever been in a predicament where you're like trying to fight the narrative on top of the reality? Like, this is what this really is. This is a conversation of Xavier Ward's a football player. Really? Your girlfriend did what to you and you just let it happen? Like, I know he has to deal with those obstacles. You ever been in that predicament?
I have never been in that predicament. I've had a really good red flag picker. I can figure out if that's going to be a poisonous situation or not. But I don't think he's 21, right? I don't think that anybody who's 21, like, you don't fully have your brain developed then, and you don't fully love yourself then. So you can tolerate a whole lot of stuff that you think is love, that you think is connection, but it's really a poisonous situation that you're in. So he just got to grow up. And I don't think anybody at 21 should be in that kind of a serious relationship because it's just too much fire going on, and you don't know who you are. You can't make clear decisions, and you're just way too emotional. So I think that's what we're looking at here.
I was young, too. I was, like they say before, prefrontal cortex, 25. I like 22, 23. Good point. Because I thought it was like deep love. Then I was like, this shit feel weird. Then I realized, you go to Cheesecake Factory with two other people, and you're like, damn, I love everybody. Like, this shit. And this love come with the popcorn shrimp. Like, dog, at 25, I fell in love 25 times. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever you called it, it was that again. Right. Somewhere else in a different version. Yeah. That's a great point.
I'm trying to think of something else, but
You tried to work it out with her after that? You went to therapy after that? Or
we did do the therapy. I tried to work it out. I checked all the boxes because I was like, because when something like that happens, you're like, it's so episodic. So it's like when you see somebody snap, whether it's a football player, basketball player, or your friend, you see somebody snap, you are like so embedded and invested into it. The equity is so large that you're like, all right, you don't want to believe it's the episode, but you're like, I give you that first pass. And then when you see them kind of put on that same dress a different way, you're like, you look the same again. It's another episode. And you're like, so for me, it was like going to the therapy and everything. I was like, all right, you ain't going to do that again. That's fine. And it was weird because I was a big old player and it didn't hurt. It was just like, it's kind of like when they were saying, remember when Joy Taylor had the allegations and they were saying one of the levels was, just in case this doesn't work, I'm going to call Me Too. And then that's when it hit me to say, you got to go. Because it wasn't like, because her play didn't work. But what if her play really worked? Right. Then I would have been fucked. So it was like, now you got to get out before it's really bad. So that's what it was. What you got, Just Blake? Oh, God, here go Queens.
No, I don't have a story. I mean, I have a story, but it's nothing different from what most have dealt with. I feel like every guy has been in a situation where they dealt with, like, the wild chick. I think the problem is most just don't see they see the signs, but don't know when to just walk off. And I don't know if that's because, like, as men, your ego is, I can handle this.
Yep.
Or in most situations, a lot of times guys don't leave until they find something better. So if she's really bad, you might kind of just deal with it because you think you can handle it. But the signs are there. And the problem is because you don't leave in time, that's when it usually works against you. Because you saw those signs long before you got to that situation.
And then not only that, but a lot of times guys will tell their buddies that they see these crazy signs in a woman.
Right, and they don't want to hear it.
The boy's response is always what?
It's probably fire, though.
Yep. Yeah. Every time.
The crazy ones always got
every time. Oh, you know that's the best.
It's always the crazy
ones. That is that's the dating baseball. If you get one strike, you're out. And if you cute, you get two strikes. Yeah. And then if you find, you get them 3 strikes.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4. You're like, no, pop flies. Like, no. She be hitting them balls out of foul balls.
You change it
foul
to
ball.
first contact. First contact.
Dog, when you're young, no matter how fine, if she fine, keep fucking up. It's okay, baby. We're going to figure this out.
Travel team. All summer.
You need a dog on your team. You need somebody on your team like that, right?
Oh, my God. All right, last topic for Richie, of course. We always got to go in the race somehow, some way. Because, like, to me, race is like the easiest one to eradicate in this world and the most difficult in the same breath. Because it has so many historical implications that you can't let go of the past. But in present day, it seems so like thin in terms of it's just epidermis. We're still looking at it the same, but it's real. So Malik Yoba came out with a way to kind of blend both worlds. He said he's no longer black. He says he's non-white. I just want to know y'all thoughts. Y'all think that's smart? Y'all think that's dumb? Y'all think that's weird? What are we taking Malik Yoba? I'm going to start with you, Jay West.
Man, I think it's attention, another attention whore. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's want to do something for publicity. You know what I'm saying? So I see it as what's his intent behind saying that? How is that going to impact the culture? How is that going to impact more dialogue? And I don't see. It's a dead topic to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, you know, to give it a little more color, as I should, he's saying there seems like a world where there's a white allegiance. You know, Donald Trump, MAGA, the White House, all that. He's like, this world is basically white and whoever else. Yeah. So he's like, instead of saying I'm black and being fractured away from Latinos or Asians, etc., he said, let's just all be non-white. So I'm not black, I'm non-white. So now let's all gang up, and then we got us a stronger force than the 12% black and whatever the numbers are for Asians and whatever the numbers are for Latinos and growing. Like, let's kind of like take our borders away because they're coming at us. Uh-oh, Richie's looking at me. And it's race.
No, I'll start with
all right, go Eugene.
At the simple view, he's just rallying. It's a rally call, right? It's to go against Trump and the elite whites. But the challenge or the concern I have with is, what are we telling ourselves? Is be colorblind, and then you lose the idea of. I'm thinking about like K-pop culture, and just that's a big thing right now. Korean pop music, right? But one of the downsides of K-pop is, are we ensuring that we're recognizing and paying homage to some of the cultural appropriation that's happening with K-pop? Whether it's, some of the biggest stars are doing hairstyles that are, supposed to be respectful of African culture, whether it's dreadlocks or braids or whatever it is. Are they doing that? We're going to lose sight of that significance of we're all different, whether it's culture, race, ethnicity. If we're all saying we're all just non-white, do we lose that sense of uniqueness and that? We have, there's a respectfulness of whether it's black culture, Hispanic culture, Asian culture. And then even within the Hispanic community, Asian community, you've got the different races. Korean culture is different from Chinese culture, from Japanese culture, from Filipino culture. So that's my concern with that statement, which is on the surface, it might politically sound good, but you're going to make some sacrifices. Do we really want to live in a colorblind world?
Yeah, I'm not colorblind, and I always get maligned because I don't look at people in judgment in terms of their greatness based on color. I don't limit you, and I also don't put you in a place. But I see you. I see that you're Asian. I see that you're black, and everybody else here is black, right? I see that. But then I'm like, because I've seen black people, let me just say it with quotations, be gangster. I've seen black people be corny. I've seen all types of black people. Like I've seen all types of Asian. Like I've seen all types of white. Like I've seen white people that are like what you want to say stereotypically. And I've seen some, I'm like, damn, but they'd be like, damn, you cool for a white guy. That whole stereotype. So I always just be like, the only thing that your color tells me is that that's your color. It doesn't inform me. It tells me you're light skin, you're dark skin, but it doesn't inform me. So then from that point, I laugh at that people want to go out and say now, no, you're telling me who you are based on your color. Because what it is a laziness. Grouping is a laziness. If you look at human history, world civilization, the reason we have groups is simple. Back in the days, they didn't have the technology, the means, the resources, the wherewithal to figure out who you were. So then when they saw you coming, they just gonna label you because that was the way to protect themselves, their family, and say, caveman, opposite caveman, Neanderthal, whatever it was. And they kind of, in a barbaric way, went at each other. As we've evolved, we realized there's much more nuance to anybody. Like, you've had issues with your own, like we all have. But then when it comes to, like, conversation, we all take this unified front to speak for us, even though, man, I was just beefing with us just yesterday. But I'm still going to protect us from everyone else. And I look at this like, I thought this was a very nuanced, interesting way, even though it was an attention grab, to say, if everyone is coming at minorities, then let's make minorities one. And then say, where you going to come at? But the only problem I had with it was, I don't even care about minorities because I don't care about majorities. I don't. Marcellus Wiley doesn't. I care about humans. I care about the selective process of, I'm going to hang with whoever I think is a good person that shares values, that does what I do, right? And then if you don't, doesn't mean I don't hang with you. Just means you are who you are. And I look at this world as too many ways we divide each other by these big groups. And the simplest way to do it is just based on the skin complexion that can change based on the sun's variance.
Well, what I didn't like about it is I feel like he's reducing himself to a non. Right?
Good
so
point.
he's leaving white folks with the white identity, whatever identity they have.
Big dog.
And he's taking all of his identity away voluntarily and saying everybody else who's not white, let's take all of our identity and all of our cultures away and become this homogenous group, which is never going to happen.
No.
And he's reducing himself to nothing. I feel like that's a problem.
No, that is a problem because I love what Eugene said and what you were just piggybacking on is we got to respect the uniqueness of who we are. But as someone told me, they were like, look, we're all uniquely the same. And it's weird because we all have different ways of getting to the same shit. Like, if you've ever seen someone born, a child born, have you ever looked at a child born and immediately your thought was, is this a black baby, white baby? No, you're just like, dog, the miracle of life. Yep. And if you ever see somebody lose their life, because I know I've seen a few times where, like, the moment they lost their life, and my first thought is, like, I want to see if there's, like, I'll be looking for the spirit. Like, I literally, real shit. I'll be like, I look around like, did something go? And then I'm like, I didn't see anything, but I could think something. But then I look, I'm like, I don't care what they were. Like, good, bad, black, white, orange. I didn't care about anything. I'm like, damn, all of that before them is gone. In stone. Like, that's it. And I'm like, I'm going to be that. You think I'm about to care about all this other trivial shit that makes me think, well, you know, I got to, like we were talking before, I got to put my hands in my pocket when I go in the store. I'm black. No, I got to keep my hands in my pocket because I'm black and everybody got to see my hands. Like, I almost think we're getting lost in the trivial part and forgetting the miracle of life and the beauty of living to even have a death. What do you feel?
I think you're 100% correct. I don't think there's a lot of ways around it, though, because it's just how it is. And if you're really looking at it, I think through clear glasses, or I think that's
oh, because you got some on, there's got to be clear glasses. If you look into it like I see it, you motherfuckers better respect race.
And listen, respect it and celebrate it and take different parts from different people that you feel can help you and your family and your friends that you can pass along. But reducing yourself to a non that's not even a question to me. That's just all right, Malik, you do you, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a weird way you're trying to flex and bring, but you actually took away. Because you're like, once again, and this is the worst part about being someone who is like racially adverse. That's why I think I'm like, I don't want to hear your racist conversations. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about, Wiley? You a sellout? I'm like, okay, keep talking. But I still don't want to hear that shit. Because if you're responding to white existence all the fucking time, like he literally said, I'm not white. Like that's so big, that army's so big in your head that you are not that.
Right.
Versus being who you really are.
Right. Who are you?
Who are you instead of who you're not?
We already know you're not white.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, nigga.
And that's in sociology. That's the definition of others.
Like my uncle would say, tell me something I don't know. Motherfucker, what are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
And before this moment, like, what have we heard from Malik Yoba? Like, we wouldn't be talking about it. That's why I say it comes off as, I mean, it's different if somebody on topic, the head of topic say, like LeBron say something, right? Then you can say, oh, yeah, but he's already, you know, the full of attention. But now as a Malik, we haven't heard from him.
Right. And in fact, the last thing I knew about Malik Yoba.
Don't say it. Don't do that.
Okay.
I didn't want to go
What
there.
was it?
But yeah.
You know exactly what it was. I feel
and
it. I don't have any problem with it.
No, say it. What was it?
That he likes trannies.
Oh yeah, he was like he had
That
a
he
new
like-
term of
he
sexuality.
like transvestites.
Okay, you're right. I thought you were gonna say New York Undercover. I was like, that's fucked up.
No,
He done some other shit.
The undercover part is right.
All right, we're gonna end on this
He and
because
Mr. C.
Anybody else got something to say before we come to this? Because in sociology, one of the things that really attracted me, that's why I majored in sociology, it was this concept, this dynamic of definition of others. And they were saying you can define yourself as who you are, but you also can define yourself by who you're not. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh shit. Because I'm like 19 at the time. I was like, I've been defining myself by who I'm not. Because I grew up not knowing what I wanted to be exactly or who I was going to be, but I knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to gangbang. I didn't want to drug deal. I didn't want to be hard. I didn't want to be tough. I didn't want to be hoodster. I didn't want to be typical. I didn't want to be stereotypical. I knew those before I knew what the fuck I wanted to be. Yeah. So I was like, damn, who am I? And when they explained that, I was like, oh, shit. So now I look at Malik Yoba to give him some support and saying maybe he's just saying, I know who I am because I know who I'm not. And I'm not a part of this majority as he's trying to say it. Even though I disagree with that, maybe that's where he's coming from.
But see, also, when you were coming up and you didn't know what you wanted to be, people thought you did.
Yeah.
And people saw what they wanted
all
you
the
to
labels,
be.
all they told me what I
Right?
was going to be. Oh, I hated that
So that's
shit.
it's a little bit different.
It
and
is.
being a star athlete at a young age is a little bit different because you already have a you are on you.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. Let's end right there because you're making me think about how MJ, I'm not going to put those labels on him, but your ass better go pro. Let me stop.
Well, listen. and listen, I have twin girls.
I know.
Right?
Let's hear it.
And one was very athletic, and one is just over the top smart. And the one that was over the top smart was over the top smart way before the one who's smart and athletic.
Yes.
And the one who's over the top smart hated being called smart. She hated it. Still hates it to this day.
Yeah.
But, and her whole life I've been like, Piper, you are smart. That's not something to be ashamed of.
Thank you. Own
Don't
it.
let people.
Flex
I call
your
it
greatness.
swift boating. You know, remember when John Kerry was running for president and they took a power away from him that he was on these boats in Vietnam and going down the river, which was something he should have been proud of.
Yes.
And they made him be ashamed of it. Don't get swift boated, right? If you have a superpower like that,
Own it.
enjoy that shit from a young age. If you're 12, 10 years old and you are a genius, suck into that genius. Let that be you. Don't throw no goddamn flags either.
They gotta suck the genius. They can be the genius without sucking it.
But you know, because you can figure out you can figure all the
Hey,
rest
you went
of it
like
out
this.
later. You sure did.
Hey, on that point, to get up out of here, these batteries are about to flick on us. I can smell it. I had a 5'10" cousin. She was a girl. In the 7th grade, she was 5'10", and she hated being tall. And I was like, oh, don't you understand the blessings you were given?
That's right.
Like, whatever you were given, how about that world? Whatever you were given is your blessing.
That's it.
I deserve it all. So if God gonna give it to you, then that means it's for you, and you can use it to the maximum ability to get exactly what you want and exactly what you deserve. And if kids understood that more, they stop looking into the other lane to start doing what they need to do.
They're going to have a whole lot more parts of their lives where that part is going to be celebrated.
Hell yeah.
Than when it's going to be made fun of as a kid.
Hell yeah. Find out a 5'10" girl grow up. All
Woo-hoo!
right. Oh. All right, that do for episode 20 on the rocks. We get up out of here.
Call
Them
me.
wings cold or they?
Right. I'm glad he said that. No one chooses football. Football chooses you. It's so crazy people still stuck in Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks.